Hello, guys. Welcome to our first ever official watch along stream for WWE RAW. For those of you who are new to Wrestling News, Wrestling News is Instagram's number one wrestling news source, and we have now arrived here on YouTube. And this is our first ever watch along party, which will be featuring WWE RAW. Now, tonight's Raw is very interesting for multiple reasons. Because first of the reasons is that AEW last week, it beat WWE Raw in terms of its key demographics. Yes, AEW did that. AEW did the impossible. Vince McMahon said that AEW was no competition to their product, but AEW, Tony Khan, and the crew proved him wrong. Not only did they prove him wrong, but they proved him so wrong that Dave Meltzer says that Vince McMahon had to bring in a lot of changes for tonight's show. And one of those changes being Bobby Lashley versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. And what else we have seen that's very interesting is that Big E has announced on Twitter that he'll be cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase on whoever wins the title tonight. So we could see a new champion tonight. Let it be Randy Orton, let it be Big E. A lot has been said, a lot has been done, it's been hyped, but let's see if Raw actually delivers, and it delivers on the hype that it has built. For now, let's tune into Raw as they have just gone live on the air. Let's see what's poppin'. Now we've got the Robo. I don't know about this Robo though. I mean, this Robo seems pretty silly to me. Of course, it's an epitome of PG era. But this Robo, or you want to call it Robot, it seems very, very childish to me. Alright, so the trailer, we're getting a little promo for Randy Orton versus Bobby Lashley. I don't know, guys. I don't know. A lot of people are excited about this whole Big E announcing that he's cashing in tonight. I'm not too pleased, if you ask me, because if you think about it, if you think about the whole thing, people are often very, wow, okay, I'm just going to hold on there right now because Big E is actually making his entrance. He's kicking off things here on Monday Night Raw. Hello, Benita, I hope you're doing well. So you can see that Big E is making his grand entrance with the briefcase. Let's see what he has in mind right now. He looks very happy, looks very energetic. Wow. So as I said, a lot of people are very excited about Big E, cashing in tonight. I'm excited too. Big E definitely deserves this opportunity, he deserves this chance, he deserves to be champion. But I'm not too thrilled. And the reason why I'm not too thrilled is because where is the element of surprise? People often complain that WWE can't keep surprises. And we have seen that tonight. Now, we have to see if this is actually a surprise or was it a cheap trick to bring up the ratings? Wow, now comes out RK Bro. So Randy Orton and Matt Riddle are coming out. This is going to be interesting. This is actually quite interesting because I expected Raw to open another fashion. I expected Bobby Lashley to come out first and VP to come out first since so many people are after their championship right now. But instead we see Big E and Randy Orton open the show. So this is, okay, wow. And there comes Bobby Lashley. There comes the Almighty. Wow. But no matter what you say, Bobby Lashley looks great in that suit. He looks great with the WWE Championship. It almost reminds me of Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal looked great in that suit with the title, and Bobby Lashley looks just as good, if not better. Wow. So the way that Randy Orton and Matt Riddle actually came out, and Big E, I thought that they were starting off the show with the championship match itself, but it looks like not. Since Bobby Lashley is, of course, coming out in a suit, they're definitely starting this show with a promo, which is going to be interesting in itself. Let's see what Bobby Lashley has to say. And for those of you who are tuning for the first time ever, Wrasslinews is glad to be here. We are glad to be hosting this live watch-along show for the first time ever on YouTube. And if you haven't heard of us, check us out on YouTube, on Instagram. Our Instagram is instagram.com/Wrasslinews. And also, check us out on our website, that is wrestlingnews.com. We've got a lot of great content there. Wow. Randy Orton and Bobby Lashley face to face with Big E in the middle. Let's see what he has to say. So Big E seems determined to cash in his contract tonight. I'm still not buying this whole thing. Alright. So Matt Riddle obviously does not want Big E to cash in on Randy because he's his best friend, his best bro. Interesting. If you look at the spokesperson for Bobby Lashley and Randy Orton, that's Matt Riddle and MVP, these are two polar opposites. Bobby Lashley's spokesperson, MVP, is all business. He's all professional. When you look at Randy Orton's spokesperson, Matt Riddle, he's all chill, the bro, the laid back guy. Polar opposites, and they attract, and they're doing a great work together on the mic right now. They're doing definitely a very good job. MVP does not seem happy with this whole change in plans, and Bobby Lashley having to defend the title against Randy Orton tonight. I guess they gotta blame Tony Khan for it, right? Or maybe Nick Khan. Who knows? Alright, hello to all our viewers right now. Great to see you all. We're doing the live stream for the first time ever, and we're so excited to be here to be doing this for all of you. Hey KJ, how are you doing? It's definitely off to a very interesting start. Did not expect these three to open the show. Definitely good. Definitely something that I like to see right now. Alright, so Randy Orton here is giving a reason behind this change in plans and Bobby Lashley having to defend the title tonight. I guess we all know the change in plans, what was the real reason behind it, but let's listen on. Let's see what they have to say. Right, the crowd is loving Randy Orton. Absolutely loving it. Wow. MVP is definitely not happy with how the crowd is behind Randy Orton and not behind Bobby Lashley. I mean, Bobby Lashley definitely deserves a lot of respect for the work he's done, over these past few months as a champion. He's done a tremendous job. I mean, the WWE Championship, like it or not, was losing its relevance with Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre was a great champion, but the championship was definitely losing its relevance or losing its importance. And Bobby Lashley definitely added some more prestige, some more respect to the WWE Championship. MVP has a good point here. So he's telling Big E that he ran from SmackDown to Raw because he was scared of cashing in his championship on Roman Reigns, or maybe because he was scared of Brock Lesnar. That's a very good point here. I mean, all this time we've been seeing Big E teasing Paul Heyman, doing these comical skits with Paul Heyman, showing off his briefcase to him as a warning, as an indication of what was next to come. And all of a sudden, we see him tweet out that he's going to cash in his briefcase on Raw. Now, this is something weird. This is something that is a sudden change of plans, as you might like to call it. Definitely weird. Randy Orton is determined, and here's the interesting part about this whole thing. Bobby Lashley is bothered by Big E. MVP is bothered by Big E. Randy Orton does not seem so bothered by Big E. He does not. So Bobby Lashley obviously threatening Randy Orton and Big E. He does not seem very pleased with what he's seeing. Oh, alright, so Bobby Lashley just threw his briefcase away, and now Big E and Bobby Lashley are facing off. There's some confrontation going on right now. Oh, and Randy Orton with the RKO to Lashley. As I said, Randy Orton does not seem as bothered by Big E. He's not so bothered. He's focused on Bobby Lashley right now. That is his main target. Big E can come in later. So Randy Orton with the RKO to Bobby Lashley. He left Big E alone, and Big E's there enjoying what he's seeing right now. He's enjoying it because he wants to take advantage at the end of the show. But let's talk non-kayfabe. Do I think that Big E is gonna cash in tonight? Do I think that Big E is gonna walk out of this building as a new WWE champion? I certainly do not. I do not think that tonight's tonight. I do not think that Big E is cashing in tonight. I do not think so. I feel like this is some kind of cheap marketing, cheap plug to get the viewership up, but I do not think that tonight is the night. It's just too random. First we get a championship match, then we get a briefcase, a cash in, and that too something that's announced on Twitter. I don't think it's happening. I do not see it happening. Alright, so we're getting a promo for Charlotte Flair right now. Shayna Baszler. This one's gonna be interesting. So we're gonna see a Raw Women's Championship contenders match between Shayna and Charlotte tonight. Wow. Oh, and a very interesting promo for NXT now. As you know, we're going to see a revamp of the most beloved show of WWE, that is NXT. I mean, fans love that show. You know a fan is a hardcore fan if he's an avid watcher of NXT. And tomorrow, we're going to see its very colorful revamp. A lot of people are not hyped about it. Unlike me, I'm very hyped about it. I like the change. You know, I mean, I'll be honest, I was getting a little tired of the black and yellow, but the colorful stuff, you know, I don't know what to say yet, but I'm kind of intrigued. You know, I'm going to tune in tomorrow. I'm going to do a live party again. I'm going to do a live watch along again for all of you. And I'm intrigued. I want to tune into tomorrow's NXT to see what is different. It's going to be a very interesting NXT for sure. Was it not Big E's shot? I know. You know, I feel like, KJ, I feel like Big E's just enjoying right now, you know. But again, just like I said, I don't see Big E cashing in tonight. I don't. A lot of people are excited about it. I'm not. I definitely do not see it happening tonight. So lots of interesting stuff. But again, as we know, Samoa Joe had to relinquish his title. And he is no longer the NXT champion. And we're going to see a fatal four-way, which was supposed to be a number one contenders match. That fatal four-way is now a championship match. And somebody who is going to walk out of NXT as a new champion. Now that's going to be very interesting. And we've got some very interesting contenders for the NXT championship as well. I feel like Tommaso is going to be champion. That's just my prediction right now. You know, I want Tommaso to win, but again, if you think about it, Tommaso's personality, his character, does not really go along very, very well with the new colorful NXT and the new theme of colorful NXT. So that's going to be something that we have to see. But I feel like whoever walks out with the NXT Championship is truly going to tell us the direction the company is headed to. If Vince McMahon, this is something that I feel. What I feel is that if Vince McMahon is in charge and he's the one who's deciding who wins the championship now, it's gonna be a babyface. It's gotta be somebody that people are gonna love. It's going to be somebody, who he finds like has the correct look, has the right look to be champion, has the right look to be the representative of NXT. If Vince McMahon is in charge of that decision for the championship, I feel like it's not gonna be Tommaso. But if not, I feel like it's gonna be Tommaso. But let's see what happens. It's gonna be definitely very, very interesting. But again, coming up back to tonight's Raw, yeah, I don't think that Big E's cashing in. I mean, if Big E cashes in tonight, what's left for Extreme Rules? What's left? I don't see it happening. It's definitely not happening. All right, and Raw is back on after the commercial break. Let's see what they have for us now. Okay, looks like we're going to have a women's match now. By the way, since we're looking at this promo, with the Charlotte Flair, Nia Jax, Shayna, a lot of people, give Charlotte a lot of hate for always being in the spotlight, always getting championship shots. I feel like that's kind of unnecessary because Charlotte Flair is such a gem. I mean, if WWE did not have Charlotte Flair right now, the women's division wouldn't have been as glamorous, wouldn't have been as top notch as it is right now. I mean, Charlotte Flair is truly a gem and a big asset to the company. And I would hate for Charlotte Flair to leave the WWE if she does leave someday. That will be a big loss. I mean, a bigger loss than Adam Cole, a bigger loss than Daniel Bryan. Charlotte Flair, if she ever leaves the company, would be almost an irreparable loss to the Divas, to the women's locker room. So we're seeing a backstage promo here by Charlotte Flair. And once again, to all those people who are joining us right now, thank you so much for tuning in. This is our first ever Raw live stream watch-along show. Not just for Raw, our first ever watch-along show. And we're going to be doing this for every single wrestling show out there. 7 days a week, 6 days a week. It doesn't matter how many times a week, how many times in a day. We're going to be live. We're going to be doing a live stream watch-along with you. And I'm having a lot of fun doing it right now. So we're seeing the grand entrance by the Queen, Charlotte Flair. Looking as glamorous as ever. Not to forget mention. I don't understand why does this woman get so much hate from the fans. She does not deserve it. I mean, of course, I understand that the thing wrapped around her waist right now, the championship belt, is the reason why people do not like her. Is because she's always champion. A lot of people think so. But if she wasn't champion, who would be champion right now? Would you be happy if Nia Jax was champion? Would you be happy, let's say, if Shayna was champion? Would you be happy if somebody else was champion? I don't know. But I feel like Charlotte Flair does a fine job putting people over and doing what she does best. A lot of unnecessary hate for the Queen right there. And we're going to be seeing a very interesting match, by the way. We're going to be seeing Charlotte Flair versus Alexa Bliss. And Alexa will probably be having Lily by her side at Extreme Rules. So it's going to be a very interesting match because whenever we see Charlotte Flair competing for the title or competing in a match, it's usually pure athleticism. It's pure athleticism. It's a violent match. It's a great match. We love the action. But with Alexa Bliss, a lot of gimmick comes into the play. A lot of gimmick comes to the mix, and that's something we haven't seen a lot Charlotte Flair involved in. I mean, Charlotte Flair in a gimmick match will be interesting. Let's see how what role Lily plays, but I'm definitely very, very intrigued. And Shayna Baszler making her entrance right now. Well, let's talk about something else. Dave Meltzer obviously said that this is Raw's answer. This is WWE's answer to AEW's Dynamite. This is how they're going to beat AEW Dynamite in the key ratings this time. Do you think that with this show, with the lineup that they've planned right now, they're going to be able to beat a show with CM Punk, with Adam Cole, with Daniel Bryan, a show that is red hot of All Out? Are they going to beat that show with this right now? I'm not somebody who always, compares AEW with WWE every chance it gets. I'm not somebody who always puts AEW over. I rarely do that. But I do not think that they're going to be able to do a very fine job with this show, with this lineup this week. Again, a lot of people are excited about Big E cashing in. There are reasons to be excited, but I'm not one of them. I do not see it happening right now. I do not. I do not feel like Big E's going to cash in. He might try to. He will definitely try to, since he opened the show, making it very clear that he intends to cash in tonight, but I do not see it happening. All right, so we have a match, a very promising match in front of us. That is Charlotte Flair versus Shayna. When I look at Shayna, I feel like there is a missed opportunity there. I mean, of course, Shayna is an incredible talent, is definitely an asset to the company. People love Shayna Baszler. But if you look at Shayna, I feel kind of sorry because there was a huge opportunity with Ronda Rousey and all of her friends. We had Shayna, we had Jasmine Duke, we had all those people, we had Marina. And now we do not have Jasmine, we do not have Maria, we only have Shayna. We do not even have Ronda right now, if you talk about it. So it's a bit disappointing. I was really looking forward to how, Ronda and her friends would just team up and do some magic in the ring, in the square circle. But it seems like we're not going to see that happening, at least not in the near future, which is kind of disappointing. But let's see. So once again, thank you guys for tuning in. It's such a pleasure to be doing this right now. KJ with another great comment. Nope, nothing new other than Big pretending. I know, KJ. And I love that you agree with me. It's just great wrestling minds that think alike. I feel like if Big E fails to cash in tonight, if he tries to cash in, if he fails to cash in, a lot of fans are going to be very, very upset because a lot of people actually tuned in tonight. They're watching the show, a 3-hour show right now, just to see Big E cash in and become champion. Because Big E as WWE Champion is something that a lot of people have desired for the longest time. I mean, not just fans, but even wrestlers themselves. I was speaking to, you guys know, Crime Time's very own JTG is a brother to me. I was speaking to him, and he said he loves the New Day, he loves Big E, he wants the New Day members to sign his, pop vinyl figures, to sign autographs for him. That's the impact the New Day has left on so many people, not just fans, but even people within the industry. And I feel like if tonight Big E fails to cash in, people are going to be pissed. People are going to be mad. But for the smart fans like KJ and myself, no, we're not going to be so mad. We're not going to be mad at all because this is something that we saw coming. But KJ, if Big E wins, I'm going to shut up and I'm going to go. I'm going to leave and I'm not going to come back for another week because I've been telling everybody here since the start of the show that Big E is not going to cash in. He's going to fail to cash in. He's not going to walk out champion. So let's see what happens. But for me right now, I don't see it happening. I still do not see it happening. For the people who want to see what Cage just said, Cage definitely feels that it's not happening. It's just pretending to cash in, which I totally agree with. I mean, WWE is already criticized, and I feel like they are very well aware of this. They are criticized for not keeping any element of surprise. They are criticized for spoiling their returns, spoiling appearances. Let it be somebody like Paul Logan, if you're into Paul Logan, or let it be a big, return. WWE always spoils it, and that's pretty bad in itself. And that's something that AEW does very well, by the way. AEW knows how to keep surprises, and I understand AEW can keep surprises, and that is because WWE has this huge global market, and a lot of people are actually casual fans who do not tune in every single week. So they want a reason to tune in, and they get that reason to tune in when they go onto social media, when they go onto Twitter, when they go onto Instagram, and they see that, hey, all right, Logan Paul's tuning in today. Logan Paul is making an appearance tonight, so I'm gonna tune in. So WWE has to actually put out these spoilers, announce the returns, announce appearances in advance, so that casual fans tune in and their viewership goes up. Again, because not all casual fans tune in every week, so they need to be given a reason. But this is something that AEW can afford to do. They can afford to keep surprises because their fan base is usually hardcore. And these people, most of them tune in every single week religiously, and they know what's going on, and they like surprises. So AEW can actually deliver. But for WWE to spoil something like a Money in the Bank briefcase cash-in, that is something unacceptable, at least for me as a fan. I do not like this at all. If Big E cashes in right now, I'll be bummed. Because there is the element of surprise. I get spoiling returns, appearances. I get it, from a business perspective. But spoiling something like a Money in the Bank cash-in, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad. And we're back from the commercial break. We are seeing Charlotte versus Shayna, and Shayna is... Oh, no. Charlotte is dominating right now. Roll up pin. 1, 2, and... Okay, alright. Shayna kicked out. Submission held right now. Once again, I can't actually concentrate on the match without thinking about the Big E situation. I mean, I'm not happy. I'm not happy at all. If this is a way to bring up viewership, not a very cool way. If this is actually not a way to just bring up viewership, but he's actually winning the title, still not a very cool way, because the whole thing about Money in the Bank is the surprise element to it, is this, expectation, is the hype that this guy's going to cash in tonight, he's going to cash in a month later, he's going to cash in Extreme Rules. But if you just go on Twitter, announce that, hey, I'm cashing in tonight, not the coolest thing in the world, not the coolest thing in the world as a wrestling fan. No, just does not know. I mean, the only person who can actually get a green pass for it is someone like John Cena, who's the ultimate babyface, who can do nothing wrong, who can do nothing heelish. He can announce it in advance. He can announce it a year in advance, a month in advance. That's acceptable. But for anyone else to especially get on Twitter to announce a cash-in, this is highly unacceptable. And no matter what you say, I'm going to be very, very pissed about it throughout this entire show. So you're going to hear a lot about me ranting about that for the next 2 hours. 2.5 hours. Charlotte Flair doing what she does best. I don't know. This match, is it going to end clean? Are we going to have a clean victory in this match? I feel like Alexa is going to come in, is going to do something. Otherwise, what is the meaning behind this whole match, I feel like Alexa is definitely coming in. Speaking of Alexa Bliss, there was a report prior to SummerSlam, and the report said that Lily's WWE future was actually in jeopardy. And the report said that if they're not able to sell enough of Lily's merchandise, which included Lily's doll, Lily's t-shirts, all sort of merchandise of Alexa Bliss and Lily, if they're not able to sell it during the SummerSlam week, they were going to get rid of Lily for good. And the fact that they haven't, it suggests that maybe Lily did impress the WWE executives. Maybe Lily did impress Nick Khan a little more than Bray Wyatt or Braun Strowman could. And that is why Lily is still with the company right now. So if Braun Strowman or Bray Wyatt are watching this right now, are keeping an eye on Lily, you better keep an eye on Lily and you better take notes because she's doing a better job at impressing Nick Khan than you guys could, sadly. So yeah, Lily is still in the WWE, but they're not. So petty, very petty, very petty. Yeah, you can see Charlotte. Oh wow, Nia Jax is here. I've tried hard. I've tried hard for years and years and years and years to try and like Nia Jax. I've tried hard, trust me. When I say I've tried hard, I have tried hard. But I just haven't been able to like her enough. I mean, I haven't been able to love her enough. I can't. I've tried really hard, but Nia Jax is somebody I haven't been able to get behind. And I'm not making fun of her, ending careers or injuring people or being an unsafe worker. I don't do that at all. I feel like Nia Jax is definitely a safe worker, which is why she is still employed by the WWE, but I just haven't been able to get behind her and her character uh, as of now. I just haven't. I've tried hard, but I haven't. If you are a fan of Nia Jax or if you admire her work, let us know in the comments, and I would love to see if we have any Nia Jax admirers in the comments. Another commercial break. And it's not always that I tune in to, Raw, but whenever I do, wow, there are a lot of commercial breaks. A lot of them. And this is something that I love about pay-per-views. It's all action. It's just a fluid show with no interference, no commercial breaks. But with these, a lot of them. Wow. Before I got on here, I was thinking, what am I gonna say when I go live? Because this is our first ever live watch along, and I was thinking to myself, what am I even gonna say when I get live? I haven't prepared a script. I haven't prepared any questions. I don't know what's gonna happen on the show. What am I gonna say? And it's so funny because live streaming is not so bad actually. If you love what you do, and if you love the show, if you love the product, if you love interacting with the fans, live streaming is a bliss. No pun intended. It's a bliss. It's a bliss. I love it. Commercial breaks as entertaining as ever. I read a comment not too long ago on our Instagram which said that the commercial breaks are more interesting than the actual show, which is WWE Raw. I don't agree with that. I feel Raw is a pretty decent show. And I do get that, SmackDown may be getting the upper hand right now. But Raw in itself is a pretty decent show. It's not bad at all. What is bad is this commercial break I'm watching right now. And that break is for WWE Extreme Rules. And to say that I love this promo for the pay-per-view would be an absolute lie because what a mess. What a total mess. They have a news anchor saying something, then it glitches out to something else, and glitches out to something else, and glitches out to something else, and then it glitches out to a steel chair. I mean, why would you do that? That makes no sense. That Extreme Rules commercial has nothing extreme about it, apart from a lot of glitches. I feel like that commercial would have better suited for Cyber Sunday back in the day. But for Extreme Rules, that's not the commercial. No, definitely not. No. All right, we're back from the commercial break. Too many commercials. I'm gonna stop saying that word right now. Commercial. I'm gonna stop using it. Kind of annoying me right now. And Charlotte Flair dominating the match right now. Shayna Baszler with the reversal suplex. Nia Jax is a close eye. She's right by the ring right now. Close eye on the match. Shayna Baszler just exposed her knee. Yeah. Wow. And Charlotte Flair attacking the exposed knee. I mean, that did not make sense. Why did you have to expose your knee? Did not make sense at all. Oh, wow. A leg lock. Wow, that's. Again, that just proves why Charlotte Flair is an asset to the company. Is an ultimate asset. I'm not favoring Charlotte Flair because I've interviewed her in the recent past and I absolutely adore her, but she's really good. She's definitely good. Wow. And a kick to the face, a knee to the face by Shayna, and a kick to the face by Charlotte. Shayna's down 1, 2, and 3. Charlotte Flair, just like that, has won the match. Nothing too surprising right now. Charlotte had to win and deserved to win. Charlotte Flair defeats Shayna Baszler. I love that. I love that. And we're seeing these graphics of Raw, and I would like to point out that these graphics of Raw are great. They're better than we had in a long time. They're great graphics. But the one thing that I do not like about the presentation of Raw right now is the robo that we get at the start of the show. I mean, that robo is, as I said earlier, is the epitome of PG era. A lot of fans tune in, I get it. A lot of fans are young fans. But there are a lot of fans. Oh, wow. Somebody's coming in. We see light flashing. We know who's coming out right now, and that is Alexa Bliss. Is Lily there with her? Oh, yes, Lily is there with Alexa Bliss, and she has a gift box in her hand. It's going to be interesting. Lily looks very happy. Lily looks very excited, and so does Alexa. It's going to be interesting what present she has for Charlotte. And I know that a lot of people are not happy with Alexa still using this gimmick, which was actually brought up by Bray Wyatt. A lot of people think that what WWE did was they took Bray's gimmick, gave it to Alexa, then got rid of Bray. I know, I understand the concern, but Alexa is not to be blamed for that. Definitely not. Just look at Lily right now, sitting there on the top turnbuckle. She looks very happy. Very happy. Alexa Bliss has brought Charlotte a gift as a thank you gift for accepting their title match challenge at Extreme Rules. Let's see if Charlotte actually accepts the gift. Charlotte is rubbing it in the face of Alexa Bliss, calling Lily a doll, saying that Alexa is a doll collector and Charlotte herself is a championship collector. That's an insult. I wouldn't call Lily a doll. She's a living, breathing, whatever she is. She's Lily, damn it. Wouldn't call her a doll at all. Alright, so Alexa's offering the gift. Really holding it up for Charlotte right now. Let's see if she accepts it. I want Charlotte to accept the gift. Let's see what's in it. Charlotte says no, of course, a bummer. Total bummer. Oh gosh. This show has been a bummer since the very start. Let's see. Yeah, Charlotte's not accepting it. A third try. So Alexa has offered her the gift for the third time now. Let's see if third time's a charm and Charlotte actually accepts the gift. Okay, Charlotte took the gift. Charlotte took it. Okay, yeah, I agree. Alright, the fans want Charlotte to open the present, open the gift, see what's inside of it. Charlotte looks happy. She looks happy. Okay. Wow, I did not see that coming. That's a doll of Charlotte Flair with some really crooked teeth. Alright, so Alexa Bliss said the reason why she gifted her the doll of herself is because she wanted to give her a present before she takes away her title Extreme Rules. Interesting. This actually makes me wonder, would Alexa Bliss and Lily ever compete for the women's tag team titles? I mean, I feel like Lily is very well capable of doing it and very well capable of holding a tag team title, definitely. She does a good job. Whatever she does do a good job and help Alexa win, so why not? That would be pretty interesting. And Alexa Bliss and Lily actually competing for the tag titles would bring back the interest, bring back the spotlight on the women's tag titles, I feel. Would not be a bad booking. If you know WWE Creative or if anybody's watching right now, let them know that Alexa Bliss and Lily should go for the women's tag titles. And you're hearing it first from me. Should happen. Alright, Charlotte looks less than intimidated. She's not intimidated at all. Throws the doll right in the face of Alexa Bliss. Alexa's not happy. She goes after Charlotte. Okay, it's a brawl right now. It's a brawl. Oh, okay. Alexa with the upper hand and Charlotte has been kicked out of the ring. The Queen's not taking it easy. Back in the ring. Alexa knocks her out once again, and she is down and she is out. Sending a pure message to Charlotte Flair right now, celebrating the occasion with Lily. I love Charlotte, but this is gold. I would love for Alexa Bliss and Lily to win the WWE Women's Raw Women's Championship. I would love for that to happen. It would be a breath of fresh air. It would be something refreshing, something that I would love to see happening at Extreme Rules. So now we're getting a high promo for Randy Orton. Randy Orton, who's set to face Bobby Lashley later tonight for the WWE Championship. It's gotta be interesting. Randy Orton versus Bobby Lashley is being hyped, is being promoted right now because it's the match for the ultimate for the WWE Championship. And Randy Orton is going to have Matt Riddle by his side, and Bobby Lashley is going to have MVP in his side, in his corner. It's going to be a great match, definitely. But the question is Big E gonna cash in? And that is yet to be seen. Speaking of championship, here comes the former WWE champion, the guy whose championship reign I was not very impressed with. Here comes Drew McIntyre. And a very interesting thing about Drew McIntyre, since you guys are here, I would love to tell you, is that we did an interview with Drew McIntyre a week before WrestleMania. We did it on a Saturday before WrestleMania. And during the interview, I asked Drew McIntyre that, hey Drew, I've heard that you want to open WrestleMania 37. You want to open the show. You want to be in the first match of the night. Is that true? And Drew McIntyre, WWE, they don't want their surprises to go out, especially when it comes to the order of matches at WrestleMania. Now I asked him this question straight up. I was a little hesitant at first. I thought that what if they get offended by the question? What if it's something out of the limits? But when I was talking to him, I was like, you know what? We're having a great conversation right now. I have the opportunity to ask him one last question, and that question is gonna be it. This is gonna be it. I asked him, Drew, I've heard that you are opening WrestleMania 37. This is something that you want to do. So are you actually doing it or no? Drew McIntyre, he paused for a second or two. He didn't know what to say. And then he goes on to explain to me that, hey, fans are coming back for WrestleMania. I would love to welcome them back. And he goes on this tangent, and then he suddenly realizes what he's doing and what my question is doing to him. Drew McIntyre suddenly changes course. And from answering that question to fans are coming back and I would love to welcome them, he starts talking about every match at WrestleMania is a main event. It doesn't matter if I'm in the last match. It doesn't matter if I'm in the first match. Every match at WrestleMania is a main event, and he explains me this whole thing, and it was pretty hilarious. This news obviously, was picked up by a lot of publications, including Fox Sports, including, Wrestle Inc., Fightful. A lot of big publications picked up this news, and they started putting it out there as Drew McIntyre set to open WrestleMania 37. Now, during the interview, he did not clearly say that he's opening the show. It was something that I brought up, but he couldn't say no to my question, and all he tried to do was explain it in a way that would not sound like a no, but not sound like a yes either. And he did a pretty terrible job at that. It was pretty evident from his answer that yes, this guy's opening the show. And the very interesting part was yet to come. So we did this interview on a Saturday. 2 days later, on Monday Night Raw, Drew McIntyre took the microphone and he goes on to explain that it doesn't matter if I open the show or I close the show. Every match on the pay-per-view on WrestleMania is a main event. I will be main eventing WrestleMania. And he explains that. And I get a message from one of our sources within the WWE, and they tell me that this is what your interview with Drew did. So, a very interesting memory with Drew, and it was my first interview, my first opportunity interviewing Drew McIntyre. Definitely a very memorable one, and I can't wait to have another round of interview with him, hopefully this time before WrestleMania 38, so I can get some more secrets out of him this time. But yeah, something I'm really looking forward to. Another commercial break as we talk right now. These commercial breaks. This is why, once again, as I said earlier, I love pay-per-views because the show is so fluid. It's fluid as water. It just flows so quickly. And there are no commercial breaks. It's great. But when you talk about these weekly shows, God, dear, oh dear, a lot of commercial breaks. A lot of them. Speaking of Drew McIntyre, now we know he's in action up next, but did you guys see the little video that came out of a WWE event? I believe it was in Albany, New York, where Drew McIntyre had a little bit of wardrobe malfunction. I don't know if I should call it his skirt. I don't know exactly what he calls his attire, but it got stuck with his trunks. And it was a little bit of a wardrobe malfunction. Baron Saxton was there trying to help him with his outfit. And his reaction to the whole thing was nothing but priceless. It was great. It added to the whole moment. And Drew definitely took it as a good sport. He had the microphone in hand. He did some jokes with the fans and in attendance. And it was a memorable moment. For sure. And here comes another Extreme Rules pay-per-view commercial. And just like I said earlier, I do not like this commercial at all. I don't know who came up with the concept of these news anchors holding the microphone, trying to report some news, and then they're showing this world map. I feel like this is so weird, especially considering the timing. We are living in the middle of a pandemic. And for the Extreme Rules commercial to show news anchors in the world map, glitching out all the videos, cutting to a steel chair. It makes no sense whatsoever. I get it. I've been watching WWE for years now. I get what Extreme Rules is all about. I get it. But for somebody who's just started watching WWE And if they look at this promo, this commercial, what do they take out of it? Does it look extreme? It does not. Not to me. And definitely not to somebody who's going to be watching it for the first time. Definitely not. Oh, wow. And here we have Drew McIntyre being ambushed by Jinder Mahal and his friends. And the Viking Raiders are out for the rescue. Oh dear. Jinder Mahal, Jinder Mahal, Jinder Mahal. I loved Jinder Mahal as the champion. I loved Jinder Mahal and the work he did, the entrance he had. I loved the suit. I loved everything about his championship reign. Even though he is not the most athletically gifted superstar, I loved the work as champion he did. He did a great job. Right now, I am not happy. I'm just not happy with this, with what I'm seeing right now. I'm not happy. And that is because WWE has this habit of putting together stables or factions which are very, very stereotypical. If you look at Jinder Mahal's faction right now, you're gonna see two more people who are basically of the same Indian origin. So you are seeing Veer and you're seeing Shanky. And the interesting thing about Veer is that he was actually not a part of this faction. He was not meant to be a part of this faction. Veer had something else going for himself at first when he was in NXT. He had another teammate. And if you look at Veer's forehead, if you see the painting in his forehead, that is actually not just a face paint. That is a religious sign, which the followers of Lord Shiva usually wear in their forehead, and that's a pretty sacred sign right there. And what they were trying to portray at NXT, not a lot of people got to see it because not a lot of people watch NXT, especially from India. But what they were trying to portray at NXT with Veer and his friend was that they were some followers of Lord Shiva, and they were trying to build this very strong Indian faction. Followers of Shiva, very strong, religious, athletically gifted, just monstrous heels. But something went wrong. NXT hosted its Great American Bash pay-per-view, and Veer's friend actually, he was being a little naive. He took a picture of the main event, the result, and he actually posted it on social media, which spoiled the main event's result. WWE was not happy. They punished him, and they did not allow him to get to the main roster. He was last seen at the WWE's event that they held for the Indian Republic Day, which was WWE's Superstar Spectacle, I believe it was called. It was held on January 26th. So that was the last time Veer's friend was seen by his side, and they teamed up with Drew McIntyre, obviously. And Jinder Mahal was there as well in their corner. They played face back then when they're actually heels. And again, Drew McIntyre has won this match right now. Drew McIntyre and Viking Raiders have won this match. But what I was saying here was that I do not like the fact that they have paired three very different people. They have paired Jinder Mahal, they have paired Veer, and they have paired Shanky just on the basis of their ethnicity, just because they have an Indian background. While even though they have an Indian background, it's very, very different. Alright, so Shanky and Jinder, both of them have a Punjabi background, same as myself. So their pairing still makes sense to some extent. But Veer into the mix makes no sense. It makes no sense. I want to see a WWE one day where they do not pair factions, where they do not create stables based on ethnicity or based on backgrounds or cultural backgrounds or nationalities. I would love to see that WWE one day. And here we're seeing the New Day. Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, Big E with his Money in the Bank briefcase around his arms right now. They're all very excited. They're all very thrilled for what's next to come, yet to come in the main event. Is Big E going to walk out as champion? If you ask me, I will still say no, it's not happening. But let's see what happens. Big E's asking former WWE Champion Kofi Kingston if he has any advice for himself, and Kofi says that he knows Big E has everything what it takes to be the face of WWE, and this actually makes me question: is the WWE Champion really the face of the company right now? Is he? Or is it the Universal Champion? Because let's talk about it. Let's talk about this right now for a second. There can be only one face of the company. And would you consider Bobby Lashley that face right now? I would say no. Not right now, not tomorrow, not 2 months later, not no. Definitely not. So if Big E wins the championship tonight, which is very unlikely according to me, I don't think so. Is he going to be the face of the company, as Kofi said? No, it's still going to be Roman Reigns. He has that mainstream attraction. He has that personality, that character going for himself. He is the head of the table right now and the face of the company right now. And here we have Damian Priest making his entrance, the United States champion. What an athletically gifted superstar. Damian Priest is great. He reminds me a lot of Shinsuke Nakamura as well. He does. I feel like Bad Bunny's inclusion, at WrestleMania definitely did wonders for Damian Priest, definitely elevated his status as a WWE superstar, made people want to tune in and pay attention to Damian Priest. And he's going to be facing Jeff Hardy right now for the United States Championship, which is pretty interesting. Wow. And the reason why I'm so interested in this match is because of Jeff Hardy. Uh, what is going on with this guy? Jeff Hardy is somebody loved growing up. We have grown up with Jeff Hardy. We have loved the Hardy Boys. What is WWE doing with them right now? What is WWE doing with Jeff Hardy right now? He's really going after the 24/7 championship. This is something that we did not want Jeff Hardy to do. I did not want him to do. I did not want to see him doing. But here he is doing that same thing right now. Very, very disappointing. I mean, I have no explanations for that right now. I can't defend this decision of Jeff Hardy going after the 24/7 title. I cannot defend this decision because it is a very amusing decision by the creative. Jeff Hardy is a guy who is not just a charismatic enigma, not just known for his facement. Jeff Hardy is not just known for his character, but he is a former champion. He has years and years of experience under his belt, and for him to go after the 24/7 championship is an insult. It's definitely an insult and something that I'm not very proud of as a fan. But he's fighting Damian Priest right now for the United States Championship. If he wins this title, it would be great for him. But will he win this title? I do not think so. I don't see it happening. Damian Priest is an up and coming superstar. He's a young rising star. And for Jeff Hardy to defeat such a rising star would gain him nothing but criticism from most of the fans. And this is something that I'm pretty sure WWE does not want him themselves. So Jeff Hardy is in such a critical situation right now. I mean, every move he makes, it's walking on glass because he cannot defeat Damian Priest, or he'll be subjected to criticism. It's very, very weird. He cannot go after the 24/7 title, or he'll be subjected to criticism. He cannot go after the Universal title, or he'll be subjected to criticism. He can't go after the WWE Championship because it already has so many people, waiting for the title right now. So Jeff Hardy is a very critical spot. He cannot do a tag team with anyone right now because, the tag team division is pretty dead right now. I mean, the only thing that we have going in the tag team division is maybe AJ Styles, Omos, and Randy Orton and Matt Riddle. And I believe that Omos, I don't know what's going on with AJ Styles and Omos as well. I don't find that team very. If you look at even if you let's not go back further down the line. Let's not go back to the Attitude Era or the Ruthless Regression Era. Let's go back to 2010. Let's go back to that time when we had Randy Orton and the Legacy. We saw a lot of new, teams getting built up back then. We saw Jerry Show. We saw Miz and Show. We saw teams like the Legacy, Ted DiBiase, Cody Rhodes. Now these were new tag teams, but these were teams that we could get behind. I mean, Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase at that time were nobodies. They were new superstars. If you looked at their character, you would say that they were kind of stale. And again, we're seeing the 24/7 segment here. I would call it a segment. And Reginald is trying to get away with the title. We're seeing a bunch of superstars, one of them being R-Truth, chasing him backstage. This is not giving me a very good feeling considering Jeff Hardy's match is up next. I hope that this does not get Jeff Hardy the 24/7 title. Drake Maverick is here as well. A fun fact about Drake Maverick, he's the only wrestler in the world who has actually wrestled a 1-year-old. He's been in the ring with the youngest wrestler, if you want to call this baby a wrestler, the youngest wrestler ever, and he's been defeated by the wrestler. So Drake Maverick has definitely his name in the history books. But the fact that we got this 24/7 championship segment right before Damian Priest versus Jeff Hardy does not give me a very good feeling at all. It does not. It makes me think that these people are gonna run into the arena chasing Reginald. Jeff Hardy's gonna be involved in some way or the other, and he's gonna pin one of the other people. Maybe he's gonna pin Reginald. He's gonna become the 24/7 champion. Something I don't want to see, but let's see what happens. Again, Extreme Rules card, Damian Priest versus Sheamus. I don't like his mask. Maybe I'm being a little critical tonight, but I don't like Sheamus' mask. I feel like he has a gorgeous face. Maybe he can take out the mask. But yeah, Jeff Hardy is here making his entrance. Matt Hardy, by the way, speaking of Jeff Hardy, let's talk about Matt Hardy a little. Matt Hardy is in AEW. He's doing a good job. All right, KJ has an interesting comment here, as always. Do you think they're giving Jeff a bit of love after embarrassing? Maybe the AEW effect? Could be. Could be. But if that little bit of love is coming in the form of the 24/7 championship, I think it's lust, not love. And love is always giving, lust is always taking. Lust takes away a lot, love does not. And I feel like if they're giving away the 24/7 title to Jeff Hardy as a way of appreciation, a token of appreciation, it's lust, KJ, it's not love. And I hope that Jeff Hardy is not subjected to such a lust, because it's just going to take away from his career right now. The 24/7 title, of course, was an initiative. It was something that the USA Network wanted WWE to come up with for their Raw brand. It was a very welcomed move by myself, by the way. I felt like it was something entertaining, but now it's more of a curse than anything. I mean, anyone who has ever, with a few exceptions maybe, anybody who has ever touched the 24/7 title, his career has gone downhill, or he's been stuck with the 24/7 championship. So I feel like it's definitely a curse in the disguise of a blessing. So better be careful before chasing that title. I love his face paint tonight. It goes so well with his outfit. I love it. I feel like this match has a lot of potential in it. It could very well, if executed well, and if giving these two performers a freedom, I feel like this match could very well be a 4-star match at least. So let's see. Let's see if it can deliver without the 24/7 clowns jumping in. KJ, mark my words. I feel like the 24/7 people are coming in. Wait, Sheamus is coming in. All right. So somebody is coming in, and that's Sheamus. I know, KJ. A terrible feeling. This show is so hyped, and I feel like it has not been very, very disappointing so far. I'm actually having fun right now. I'm not disappointed. I'm having fun. Maybe doing this little virtual party of our own, watch along party. Maybe that's why I'm enjoying myself. But the show, I feel, is not disappointing, but the ending could very well be. Once again, I mean, the Big E thing could be disappointing. Damien Priest and both Jeff Hardy are very athletically gifted, so this match is very promising. Wow. All right, so Jeff Hardy is down. Wow. Wow. These people have a chemistry, I can tell. I mean, you can tell already. These people share a great chemistry right now. Oh, wow. This match is going so well. So well. Fans are behind Damien Priest, and they are behind Damien Priest for a reason. And I really appreciate Damien Priest and the gift of athleticism that he possesses. A lot of fans were also behind this superstar known as Ricochet, and Ricochet, King Ricochet, is definitely gifted. He's a tremendous athlete. He's great in the ring, but Ricochet is somebody I could never get behind. I could never get behind Ricochet. The only thing that maybe appealed to me about him, about his character, I'm not talking about his in-ring skills because Ricochet's in-ring skills have no match. But about his character, I feel like the entrance was the best part, but the whole character, it was stale. I felt like it is pretty stale, and that is one of the reasons why I could not get behind it. Um, yeah, not Ricochet, definitely not for me. Again, the way that these two, Jeff Hardy and Damien Priest, are dodging each other's next move, it's so fluid. It does not feel choreographed at all, yet it feels so perfect. It almost feels like I'm playing, one of those WWE 2K games right now, or maybe SVR games right now, and I'm pressing the R2 button or the RT button, and I'm dodging the move so perfectly. This feels so perfect. This feels great. And Jeff Hardy is out in outside the ring right now. Damian Priest is not giving him any rest. Got out of the ring on top of Jeff Hardy, face to face with Sheamus right now. Again, Sheamus with his ugly mask, something that I do not like at all. And back to commercial break. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Commercial breaks way too much, but maybe it's a good sign. Maybe it's a good sign. Let's say. We're getting a lot of comments here on Instagram, and people are very, very excited about Big E cashing in tonight. I'm reading these comments right now, and people are like, "I can't wait for Big E to walk out as champion. I can't wait to see him cash in." Only if you knew. Only if you knew Big E as champion. I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's interesting. YouTube is pretty interesting in itself. I mean, YouTube is such the reason why I love YouTube and is the freedom that it allows to us. We can customize the streams as we want. We can play with it. We can do whatever with it. Instagram, on the other hand, is pretty restricted. Of course, you can add in your creativity. That's what we've done with Wrestling News, and that's why it's the number one news source on Instagram, and it's been for years now. But on YouTube, it just allows us liberty, which is great. Something that I can appreciate about YouTube. Just a little plug in. Getting a commercial here for a MMA fight, which reminds me of the boxing fight that happened on September 11th, and our former president, the former president of USA, Donald Trump, was actually calling the action for that boxing match. I tuned in to CNN, to ABC, to a lot of news channels, news networks, when Trump made that announcement of calling the boxing match on September 11th. And a lot of those news anchors were disgusted by the decision of former President basically spending September 11th in such a fashion. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like Trump is a great entertainer. I'm not going to speak of his presidency, but I feel like as an entertainer, he's great. And I would love for Trump to maybe, be ringside in the WWE, maybe calling the action for one of the WWE WrestleMania matches. I think that would be something that a lot of fans would love to see. Because Trump as an entertainer is great, but as a president, again, not going to comment. And again, as we speak, we have another commercial break, which is promoting this upcoming Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Not a fan of this commercial break. Not a fan of this promo, this concept of Extreme Rules promo. Whoever came up with this, it's a very PG promo for Extreme Rules. I'll give you credit for that. But this is a very badly executed promo. There's nothing extreme about it. We're living in the middle of a pandemic, by the way, still, and you're showing news anchors and you're showing us this world map, which definitely signals towards the pandemic, hints towards this whole COVID-19 outbreak, which I'm not a very big fan of in this Extreme Rules promo. So definitely sends a message, which I'm not a fan of. Tommaso Ciampa, LA Knight, Pete Dunne, and Kyle O'Reilly. They're all four of them are gonna compete tomorrow night on the revamped NXT, which by the way they're now calling NXT 2.0. They really want the fans to know that NXT is different, NXT is changed. It's not the same old NXT anymore, and that is why they're now calling it. They've changed its logo yet again, and now they're calling it NXT 2.0. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Because until now, we were just seeing a new NXT logo, which was, a white logo with a lot of color thrown on it. But now we're seeing a revamped NXT logo, a revamped edition of NXT's already new logo, which is now having the numbers 2.0 next to it, which means that NXT, the revamped NXT, is now being called NXT 2.0. Interesting. They really want everybody to know that NXT is different, NXT has changed. Very, very interesting. And we're back here from the commercial break. Jeff Hardy trying to pin Damian Priest. It did not work. Kick out at 2. Sheamus definitely enjoying it from the ringside. He's liking what he's seeing Damian Priest struggle to gain momentum, struggle to dominate this match against the veteran Jeff Hardy. And Jeff Hardy going to the corner. Damian Priest chucks him away with a kick, left and right, punch to the chest. And Jeff Hardy with the reversal. Damian Priest is down yet again. Jeff Hardy goes to the pin. 1, 2, and Damian Priest kicks out. Very interesting, actually. I know. The Extreme Rules commercial, I can go on and on about it. There's so much wrong with that commercial. First of all, nothing extreme, KJ. Nothing extreme about it. We both know what Extreme Rules is all about. We both know that it's a very extreme show. We can expect no blood anymore, but we can expect some violence. We can expect some steel chairs, some kendo sticks. We can expect some craziness at Extreme Rules. But that match did not hint of any extreme motives. It did not. We just saw some news reporters. We saw some glitch effects. We saw a steel chair lying down on the floor. Nothing else. Nothing else. Very badly executed promo. Alright, so Damian Priest is finally gaining momentum. The punch to the face. When I see Sheamus, I feel bad because I did not like the whole Mohawk thing. The whole Mohawk thing that he had going back when he actually won the WWE Championship. I was not a very big fan of that look. Then, he got rid of the Mohawk. He adapted his old original OG Sheamus look back, and I was happy. And now he has this mask on. I miss the old Sheamus. The Sheamus that we saw when he first made his WWE debut. I feel like that was the best look of Sheamus, and I hope to see that again in the near future. But again, merchandise is something that WWE loves. Maybe Sheamus's mask is another idea to move his merchandise, to move his new merchandise. For his action figures, memorabilia, his T-shirt, whatnot. So maybe that is a reason why he's not getting rid of the face mask. But it's the same reason why Karrion Kross has that hideous face mask of his own and the hideous outfit of his own. It's ridiculous. But they have to do what they have to do to move the merch. And Eric Rowan in a recent interview actually revealed that whatever Karrion Kross is wearing right now was actually meant for the Bludgeon Brothers. It was something that they were actually originally pitched, and they refused to wear it. They did not like it. And that is why it has now been given to Karrion Kross. Wow, that was a very close call. This match has been surprisingly been back and forth, but just like I said earlier, there was no way that veteran Jeff Hardy would have defeated Damian Priest, and he did not. And Damian Priest has won the match, and he's being ambushed by Sheamus right now. How would I rate this match? I would rate the action of this match a solid 2.5 out of 5. I would rate this a 2.5 because of how good the two performers are, how they had a great chemistry together, which I actually enjoyed their chemistry a lot. The way they were dodging each other's moves and whatnot, it was great. Great to see. But if you look at the actual match itself, or what's happening right now, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it at all. How many times are we going to see people jumping in from the commentary table to attack their opponent? I feel like it's getting a little old. I feel like it's getting a little, for the veteran wrestling fan in me, I feel like we've seen a little too much. Maybe sometimes we can just see, the heel at the commentary table just doing his heel things, giving heel looks, and nothing else, not bothering to get in the ring to attack somebody. Maybe that would be good for a change sometimes. Yeah, I am not a fan of this run-in. But what I'm a fan of is the fact that none of the 24/7 clowns actually interfered during this match, and Jeff Hardy is still not the 24/7 champion. So that is something that I can definitely get behind, and something that I can really appreciate. I love that. I would not want Jeff Hardy to be 24/7 champion. I feel like that would be a big, big downgrade for sure. A very big downgrade. But Damian Priest, look at this guy. He looks great. It feels like the U.S. Championship, the WWE United States Championship, was made for him. And Damian Priest with the little show of respect, which was actually cut out, and now we're seeing a promo with Nikki Ash and Rhea Ripley backstage in the gorilla position, waiting for their turn to get into the arena. But yeah. I don't know about you guys, but Nikki ASH, I feel like she did a decent job with the championship. Oh, here come the tag titles champions. That is Natalya and Tamina Snuka. I have a lot of respect for Natalya. She recently underwent, she went through a gruesome injury, but she's back on her feet now. She's back in action. Natalya is a true veteran who looks, just great, who looks so fresh, so new. Every time she steps to the ring, she brings a sort of a newness with her, which is something that is so incredible about Natalya. She does not age. She does not age. And Natalya and Tamina Snuka are actually also great friends, which just adds to this whole thing. And Sonya Deville, so a brawl broke out backstage in the gorilla position between Rhea Ripley, Nikki ASH, and the tag champions. Sonya Deville is here to maintain peace. So Natalia and Rhea Ripley were scheduled to go one on one, but because the brawl rolled out, now we're gonna have Tamina Snuka and Nikki Ash before that match. So we're gonna see Nikki Ash and Tamina Snuka in action, followed by which we're gonna see Natalia and Rhea Ripley in action. That's great. That's fantastic. If you are an admirer of women's matches, this is a treat for you because we're gonna see not one but two of them, one by one in a row. So that's great. So right now we're having Nikki Ash versus Tamina Snuka. I love what Nikki is doing. I feel like as cheesy as her gimmick is, she's doing such a fine, such an incredible job with it, and nobody could have done better. Oh, we're having Wiki Joseph here, who is new to the channel. Hello, Wiki. Glad that you could join and be a part of our viewing party, the first ever. So, for all of those who are joining right now, who will be watching this later, for Vicky himself, who is actually tuned in right now, we are Wrestling News, and we are here new to YouTube. We are primarily based on Instagram, and we are the number one wrestling news pages on Instagram who have now landed on YouTube. So definitely make sure to check us out on Insta. Our Insta is instagram.com/wrestling news. And we're going to be here every single day of the week. We're going to be doing watch parties for every single show. So make sure to tune in and we'll be glad to have you. And KJ is here. Oh, you miss Crazy Nikki, KJ. You make Crazy Nikki. That's something that I'm hearing, for the first time in a long time. Crazy Nikki was definitely special, literally. Was I a fan of Crazy Nikki? I felt bad for her, actually, because as good as she was and as dedicated as Nikki was to her character, she was always undervalued and not really given the spotlight a lot of times, except for the thing that she did with Alexa Bliss. So I felt bad for Crazy Nikki. She was great. But Nikki Ash right here with her whole butterfly superhero gimmick, I feel it's so good, so great, especially for PG era WWE, because Nikki Ash is almost a superhero that a lot of little girls, a lot of young fans can get behind. And this is something about wrestling in general, not just WWE, but wrestling in general, all promotions included. You talk about ROH, you talk about AEW, WWE, Impact. Wrestling is so great because it makes a lot of dreams come true. Growing up, kids obviously watch superhero films, superhero cartoons, and comics and whatnot, and it's always that. It's always limited to those films. It's all fictional. Yeah, it's all fictional. Nothing is real. But when you talk about wrestling, it's very real. You talk about John Cena. A lot of young fans look at John Cena as superheroes, and guess what? That superhero is actually real. It's not just CGI. It's all real. And that's what's so lovely about wrestling, and that's why I appreciate Nikki Ash so much, is because she is a real-life, almost superhero for so many young fans out there who can look up to Nikki Ash, who can follow her, and who can actually meet her in person too one day. Unlike Superman or Batman, Nikki Ash is real, and fans can definitely get behind her. So, as much as I hate the PG era, but still, PG era, it does good to the young fans out there, and why not? Why not? Wrestling is for everybody. Wrestling is for everyone, no matter their nationality, their color, no matter their age. Wrestling is for everybody, and that's why I love, wrestling. It brings people together. And as fans, we should respect every single fan out there. That's what I feel is so important. Because fans, if you don't have each other's backs, whose back do you even have? There was recently a tweet which was sent out by Forbes reporter. I can't recall his name right now, but he's a guy who does a podcast for Wrestling Inc. He's a guy who also does news sometimes for Forbes, which is picked up by Forbes. He writes articles for other big publication, and he sent out a tweet, which he basically called Bray Wyatt fans as incels. And incels, if you are familiar with that term, is used for somebody, usually to bully people. It's used for people who do not have the capability, or who feel like who are not capable of having a relationship, or capable of attracting a partner or having a partner in their life. And this particular Forbes reporter actually used the term incels for a lot of Bray Wyatt fans. And I feel like as fans should have each other's backs. So anybody who actually talks trash about other fans cannot be a true fan. That's what I feel. Cannot be a true fan. And now we're backstage again. We're seeing a backstage segment with Randy Orton and Matt Riddle, the RK Bro. Matt Riddle giving him a little prep talk, and Randy Orton is less than pleased. He puts on his Beats headphones. He does not want to listen to Matt Riddle, and that's one very well understandable. Yeah. And Big E is there in the same locker room with his Money in the Bank briefcase, just serving as a reminder that no matter who wins tonight, let it be Randy or let it be Lashley, Big E is gonna be having his eyes glued to the screen, glued to the match, and he's gonna be ready to cash in his briefcase, which I again feel like is not happening, not tonight. I feel like Big E will not cash in, or fail to cash in tonight. That's what I feel. No matter what happens, because they've been teasing it a little too much for it to actually happen right now. So I feel like it's not happening. Again, Randy Orton and Bobby Lashley will be in action tonight. One-on-one match for the WWE Championship. Very interesting. Very interesting. But for now, we're gonna get Nikki ASH versus Tamina Snuka. She looks focused. And again, just like I said, nobody can pull off a butterfly superhero gimmick better than Nikki herself. She does such an incredible job with this gimmick that I can't help but fall in love with this character. I cannot. It's a great character, which is greatly played by Nikki. Great job. And here come the WWE Tag Team Champions, Natalya and Tamina Snuka. Looking as bossy as ever, obviously. Again, we have this Raw Robo back on the screen, which is the epitome of PG era. I know a few moments ago I was talking about how we should, embrace the PG era and whatnot, but still, a Robo, a cartoon in the middle of a wrestling show, it makes no sense to me. It makes zero sense to me. So let's get rid of that Robo. Let's start a petition to get rid of that Raw Robo, because it is just absurd. It is just something that we do not need, and not now, not today, not tomorrow, not a month later, not a year later. We do not need a little cartoon Robo, putting out promotions or putting out commercials for us in the middle of a wrestling show. Let's not do that. Thank you, WWE. All right. So Nikki ASH is dominating the early part of this match. Obviously, she is yeah. Tamina tried to gain some momentum, but she could not. Nikki ASH, of course, almost a superhero, did. Oh, okay, all right. She's down. She's down. Tamina Snuka dominating the match right now. Both Rhea Ripley and Natalya are ringside supporting their own partners. So I said earlier during this live stream is that I'm not a very big fan of Nia Jax. Add Tamina Snuka to the list. I'm not a very big fan of Tamina Snuka either. Um, Not trying to be rude, but just not a big fan. And we're gonna have a very explosive eight-man tag team match coming up tonight, which is gonna be involving Omos, AJ Styles, Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston. So it's gonna be something that you might want to see. And the match is also gonna have Mustafa Ali and the guy from Saudi Arabia. Uh, Again, this is something that I don't like. I spoke about this earlier with WWE, making factions, making teams happen, forming teams on the basis of ethnicity or nationality or religion's background. Again, we are seeing the same thing with Mustafa Ali and the guy from Saudi Arabia. I always forget his name, but yeah, that's what we're seeing here with this faction. And even though it looks like they have a great chemistry, they're doing a good job. I'm not impressed. I would have rather seen Mustafa Ali, get paired with some luchador. I would rather have seen, get paired with somebody else. But no, WWE going down the same route of nationality, of ethnicity, and pairing up people stereotypically. Not a fan of that at all. Tamina Snuka is dominating the match right now, and I feel like I can't gain a lot of interest in this action because I just want to get over with it. Uh, yeah, when people say that 3 hour of Raw is very long, they're not lying. It is long. It is long. Definitely long. We've been doing this for about 1 hour and 30 minutes already. Time flies, but it is long. We are seeing Nikki Ash versus Tamina Snuka right now. Shortly after this match, we're going to see, actually, right after this match, we're going to be seeing Rhea Ripley versus Natalia, after which we're going to be seeing the eight-man tag team match, hopefully, right after that match, we're going to be seeing the eight-man tag team, and then a few segments here and there, and then ultimately we'll see the main event. So we have a good 90 minutes left for the show. We're just halfway through right now. Again, as I said earlier, if WWE expects this show to do better than a show with Adam Cole, with Daniel Bryan, with Britt Baker, with CM Punk, this show is not it. This show is not it. It could have been very well the Super SmackDown at MSG. That was a great show. But this show, not it. Even though it's so hyped with this whole Money in the Bank hype and whatnot, with the championship matches, this show is still not it. This is still not it, definitely. I mean, the match is over. Nikki Ash with the upper hand. She defeated Tamina Snuka, but what did we even get out of this match? I would say not a lot. Not a lot. Not a whole lot. But anyways, the match is over. Let's just be glad that it's over. And now we're going to be seeing Rhea Ripley versus Natalia. And Tamina Snuka is not happy. She's attacking Nikki Ash, pulling her by the hair, pulling her ringside out of the ring. And Rhea Ripley was coming to the save of Nikki. Natalia attacks her from behind. And now double team on Nikki Ash. Tamina Snuka destroying Nikki, showing her no mercy whatsoever. They're furious. Definitely, they're very, very furious. Natalia is enjoying what she's seeing right now. She's already stepped into the ring, and she's waiting for her opponent, Rhea Ripley, to step inside. Interesting. And another commercial break. And now we're going to see Natalia versus Rhea Ripley. And the thing about Rhea Ripley, which a lot of people keep asking about, they keep asking Rhea herself, they keep asking each other. When I interviewed Rhea before WrestleMania, they kept asking me, is Rhea heel or face? And I obviously asked her this question, and Rhea just laughed. She just laughed. I mean, she is somebody that nobody can hate I mean, even if she's a heel, you cannot boo Rhea because she is such a likable person. She has this personality about herself that you can't help but like and can't help but cheer. So Rhea is definitely that one person that you cannot boo. Speaking of Rhea and speaking of these up and coming young talent, let's talk a little bit about NXT because it's now been announced. The new logo has finally been unveiled, and the new revamped NXT will actually be called NXT 2.0. So this really shows that WWE is pushing NXT as the next big thing, and WWE wants people to know that, hey, this is not the same old NXT. This is not NXT Redemption. This is not NXT. This is NXT 2.0. Interesting. Very interesting. And I feel, I saw the new upgraded logo. I feel like it looks better than what was initially revealed by the rapper Veil. I feel like the NXT 2.0 logo looks a little bit better. If you haven't seen it already, I would recommend you to Google it right now to see the NXT 2.0 logo. It doesn't look as bad. It looks fine. It looks just fine. And yes, so NXT 2.0 is going to be airing tomorrow night, and we were originally scheduled to see a fatal four-way match for the number one contendership for the NXT Championship, which has now, because Samoa Joe had to relinquish the championship, that match is now a championship match, and the four people are going to be fighting for the championship. We're going to see Pete Dunne, we're going to see a lot of great talent on that show, but again, just like I said earlier, whoever is going to walk out of champion is going to really show us the direction NXT 2.0 is going to be headed in. It's going to show us what kind of a show it's going to be. If it's going to be Tommaso Ciampa, let's talk about Tommaso. If he walks away as champion tomorrow, which I feel would only happen if Vince McMahon is not involved with the decision. If Tommaso is champion, it will still mean that Vince McMahon is, only indirectly involved and only directly involved with bigger decisions. If he's champion tomorrow, it will show that NXT is not changing a lot too much. It's just changing a little bit. But if somebody else is champion, I'm not going to name that person, but if somebody else, who has the right look, who's a little bit muscular, a little bit beefy, if that person wins the title tomorrow, it will show that Vince McMahon has a big influence on the promotion, big influence on the decisions, and it will show us the direction the company is headed to. It's going to be interesting for sure. Alright, so we're seeing a lot of commercials tonight. Wow. So up next is Natalya versus Rhea Ripley, and this is one match I really want to get over with because I cannot wait to see the main event, and the main event between Bobby Lashley versus Randy Orton. We're of course going to be having MVP, and we're going to be having Matt Riddle in the corner for their respective partners, for their respective friends. And we're going to be having Big E, who's going to be watching the match very closely. I wouldn't be surprised if he's sitting by the commentary table, maybe doing some commentary, waiting for the match's results to go on. But yeah, we're seeing a lot of people tune in, lots of hearts. Thank you so much. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're enjoying the show. And we're back on air, and we're seeing Rhea Ripley versus Natalya right now. And obviously, as expected, it's a back-and-forth action. Natalya with the arm, Rhea Ripley with the roll-up, 1-2, and kick out. Natalya with the arm again, the submission hold. Rhea Ripley less than likely to give up at this point. Interesting matchup, for sure. But I still want this to get over with because I cannot wait for the main event. Again, if you guys feel like Big E is going to walk out as champion, or if the championship is going to change hands at all tonight, let us know in the comments. I would love to see what you guys feel, what you guys think is going to happen tonight. Is Bobby Lashley retaining tonight, or are we going to see a new champion? Let us know in the comments. I would love to see what you think. For me personally, I've said this countless times already tonight. I feel like Big E is not cashing in, or if he tries to cash in, he's going to fail to cash in, and he's not going to be able to do it. because WWE's hyped it a lot. Not only did he post it on Twitter, not only did WWE's official Twitter account, Instagram account also report on Big E's cashing in tonight. He also opened the show, claiming that he's going to be cashing in. He's done multiple segments throughout the night, claiming that he's cashing in. It's just been hyped a little too much for it to actually happen. Big E is no John Cena, so he does not have to announce it in advance, and he does not have to cash in tonight. Or if he does, it's going to be a failed attempt that's going to happen. Wow. All this talk and this match is still going on. No offense to the women out here, but I just want this match to get over with right now. Natalya versus Rhea Ripley. Great talent, great personality, great characters. Future Hall of Famers for sure. I would be very, very surprised if Natalya ever leaves the WWE. I mean, she has such a history with the company. The family has such a rich history with the company. I feel like if there is one superstar who would not leave the WWE and jump ship to AEW, if there's one superstar who would not do it, apart from, the John Cena, it's going to be Natalya. Natalya is not going to do it. She's not leaving the WWE. So, great to see everybody tuning in tonight. I hope you're all having a great night so far, and we're having a lot of fun covering this show. We're doing it, of course, for the first time ever, and we're having a blast talking about this show. It's been a good show, but, doing it live with all of you, it just adds to the fun. Right. Rhea Ripley is knocked out ringside, and Natalya is just showing off right now, showing off why she's the best, why she is the tag team champion, and not Rhea Ripley herself. I kind of feel bad for Nikki ASH at this point, actually, because she was just getting her push. She just won the championship, the solo Raw Women's Championship, and now she's being pushed to this tag team title picture. I mean, on one hand, it's good because she's being pushed to the tag team title picture with none other than, Rhea Ripley, and she's still, in the tag team title picture, but still, I feel bad because I feel like her, she could not pursue the solo Raw Women's Championship for a long time. So, raises some eyebrows, makes me wonder if WWE was actually happy with her run as a champion. Makes me wonder. Alright, so we are back on the commercial break right now. So until then, what can we do? We can just wait and speculate about Big E and his Money in the Bank, what's going to happen. It's going to be interesting for sure. So here, behind me actually, here, I have the poster for the SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, the video game. And, since we're on a commercial break, let's talk a little bit about the video games, and let's talk about SmackDown vs. Raw series. I feel like SmackDown vs. Raw series was just so special. Just so special, I mean, geez, that series really, made me excited, made me look forward to the WWE video games every single year. This is no secret. I mean, people who know me know very well that the reason why I got into wrestling in the first place was its video games. I was first exposed to wrestling video games because before I was exposed to wrestling itself, and I fell in love with the video games before I fell in love with wrestling. So to see what 2K has been doing with the WWE video games has been nothing but very, very, very disappointing. Even though I don't have the time to play video games anymore, but still seeing what they have been doing with the WWE video games is just really, really sad. Very sad. KJ is here, and we need some picture-in-picture. I know, KJ. We're gonna improvise. We're gonna do more of this picture-in-picture and whatnot in the coming few streams. But yes, just like I was saying, WWE and 2K has it's been very underwhelming. I purchased this game. I said myself, no, don't do it, don't do it. It's gonna be a big mistake. But I did purchase WWE's Battlegrounds video game, and I did not like that game at all. I could not get hold of its controls. It felt complicated, and complicated for no reason whatsoever, because the game was so limited in terms of free roam, in terms of action. It was very timed. You only can be in the ring for a limited time. Uh, Very automated, by the way, and lots of graphics, lots of CGI, lots of special effects for no reason whatsoever. I mean, I get it. It was an over-the-top arcade kind of game, something similar to WWE All Stars by THQ. But WWE All Stars by THQ was a game, was something that you wanted to watch, not just play, but you wanted to watch because it was so beautiful. But WWE Battlegrounds has been nothing but I don't have words for it. Bad game, very bad game. Yeah, the only difference between WWE 2K20 and Battlegrounds is the fact that Battlegrounds did not crash and 2K20 did. Nothing else. Nothing else. Also, I would like to point, since I'm very interested in this match, I would like to continue this conversation about WWE video games a little bit more and talk about WWE and THQ. THQ actually brought in some kind of originality with its games. I mean, if you look at THQ's game, which was known as Legends of WrestleMania, now that game was not the most fantastic game in terms of its gameplay. It was not the best game ever. But the one reason why I wanted to buy that game was something unique that it brought to the table. And that unique thing was, if you owned a copy of SVR, that's SmackDown vs. Raw 2009, you could actually import the SmackDown vs. Raw characters into the video game of WWE Legends of WrestleMania and have these two eras clash together. So WWE Legends of WrestleMania only came with the vintage wrestlers on the disc itself, but to get the modern day wrestlers, you had to have the copy of SVR 2009. Now that is the kind of originality that THQ brought with it. And I feel like that originality definitely went away with 2K. We haven't seen a great game since, in terms of gameplay, since WWE 2K14, which also was partly developed by THQ. So it's been underwhelming. It's been an underwhelming journey, and I really can't wait for the day that we see something close, if not better, than this game poster behind me right now. That's SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. And enough of the video games. Let's go back to the action. Unrolling in front of us right now. Rhea Ripley versus Natalya. Rhea Ripley is a big anime fan, is a big Dragon Ball Z fan. She even paid homage to Vegeta, a Dragon Ball Z character, during her first ever WrestleMania, which was WrestleMania 36. She wore a Vegeta-inspired gear. And if you look at her performing in the ring every single week, she looks no short of an anime superhero, no short of a Dragon Ball Z hero. I mean, look at her hair, her attire, her persona, her character, her makeup. Everything is on point. Rhea Ripley is the complete package. There is nothing to complain about Rhea Ripley. She is the ultimate complete package for sure. Wow, this match has been long, yeah? This match has been long. So Natalya is trying to put her in the sharpshooter right now, and she's gonna fail. She did fail. Rhea Ripley with the roll-up pin right now. 1, 2, and it's a kick out. Natalya is tired, and so is Rhea Ripley. Alright, both on their feet right now. Rhea with the counter. Alright, so Tamina is doing the dirty work, trying to interfere in the match. Face to face with Rhea Ripley right now. Okay, Natalya trying to gain advantage, but Nikki ASH saves her. Rhea Ripley still focused on Tamina right now. Knocks her out. But this gave Natalya enough time for her to recover. Let's see if she can act. Oh, she did counter. Roll up pin. Okay, Nikki ASH with the save. Wow. This match has been interesting. The latter part of this match, not gonna lie, interesting. headbutt from Rhea Ripley to Natalia. She's down. Rhea locks in her finisher. Natalia is in big trouble. Let's see if she will tap out or she can stay in the game. Is she gonna tap? She tapped. The match is over. Rhea Ripley has defeated Natalia by submission. Great. The match is over. And Rhea Ripley is victorious. Great. I couldn't have been happy. I'm very, very happy. Now we can move on with the show and we can see what is next to come. Yeah, the team of Rhea and Nikki does seem adorable. But as I said earlier, I would love for the team of Alexa Bliss and Lily, as weird as it sounds right now, I would love for the team of Alexa and Lily to go after the tag team titles one day. It would really bring a lot of attention to the tag team title picture of women, and it would be very intriguing. It would be something that the creative would have to work really hard for on, and to make it interesting, to make it believable, to really make Lily look like a threat. It would be pretty entertaining as well, because pro wrestling is not just wrestling, it's also entertainment. So why not have Alexa Bliss and Lily go after the tag team titles? It would be great. Needs to happen. Needs to happen. We're getting a little a recap of what happened earlier tonight, the way the show opened, with Randy Orton with the RKO to Bobby Lashley, putting it down. And as I said earlier, this was something that I really noticed. Bobby Lashley did seem bothered by Big E's presence and the fact that Big E is holding the Money in the Bank briefcase. But Randy Orton was not so bothered. I mean, yes, Bobby Lashley even directly addressed Big E, but Randy Orton, not even once. Even though Big E got right in the face of Orton, challenged him, let him know that no matter what happens, he's cashing in tonight. Randy Orton did not move. He was not bothered. That is something that really caught my eye. And now we're seeing an 8-man tag team match. And the first team to come out right now is of Mansoor from Saudi Arabia and Mustafa Ali, who's also of Pakistani origin. And this is something that I've said earlier, a few times during this live stream, is that I'm not a fan of how WWE pairs up people from the same ethnicity, from the same nationality together, just on the basis of that, just on the basis of their nationality. It's a very stereotypical way of putting in teams together, putting in factions together, and I'm definitely not a big fan of that. I would really love to see that day when WWE pairs somebody up like Mansoor and, let's say, Kalisto, or Mansoor and, let's say, Sami Zayn, a mix of people, a mix of, ideas, a mix of nationality. Why do we always have to have the team of people like Jinder Mahal, Veer, and Shanky? Why can't we have a team of Jinder Mahal and, let's say, somebody else, let's say Bobby Lashley? That would be something that I would love to see. That would be, in my eyes, a true progressive WWE, because right now, the way that they put up factions, the way they put up teams right now, Jinder Mahal, Veer, Shanky, Mansoor, Mustafa Ali, then you look at the Lucha House Party, it's all very stereotypical. We are better than that. This is 2021. Let's do something different. Let's move ahead. Let's do something that would really raise some eyebrows. Let's bring people of different nationalities, different backgrounds together. Just like I like my salad. I like my salad with all sort of assortments. I like my salad that's different. It has a variety of flavors. It has a variety of stuff in it. I do not like just lettuce. I do not like a bowl of just tomatoes. I like my lettuce with my tomatoes, with my mushrooms, with my chicken. I like it all together. Let's do that, WWE. Let's mix it up. Let's spice it up. Let's do something different. Let's do something hot. Let's do it. And I would really love for this to happen. I'm sincerely seeing this because, all these teams are great. They're definitely, of course, might be good for business. Having a team of Indians might be good for business in India, for the fans in India watching right now. If you feel like it's good for, if it makes you want to buy their merch, great, fantastic. But for a fan in me, I would love a revolution. I would love a change. So I hope that we can go above this whole stereotypical way of putting factions, putting teams together. We'll love for that to happen one day. And speaking of tag teams, we have AJ and Omos who are going to be competing in this eight-man tag team match momentarily. Now, AJ and Omos, I was earlier comparing the tag teams of today that actually come up abruptly. I was comparing them to the tag teams of yesterday. Not too yesterday, but a little bit yesterday. Let's talk about 2010, 2011. We saw the new tag teams come up like Ted DiBiase, Cody Rhodes, We saw the Legacy. These were new faces, fresh faces. If you looked at Ted DiBiase and Cody Rhodes back then, they had no character of themselves. They were just athletes. They had no extraordinary gimmick. They did not have an extraordinary character. They were just athletes. And these were some tag teams that people got invested in. People wanted to watch them. People wanted to see them. Wanted to actually take the time and pay attention to their matches. But the tag teams of now, AJ Styles and Omos, I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan because the way Omos was introduced was a bodyguard, and then he becomes a tag team partner with little to no story behind it. Not a fan myself. Not a big fan. I felt like I feel like WWE can do a little better when it comes to forming tag teams because the way AJ and Omos were formed randomly was very random. Just the way Mansoor and Mustafa Ali were formed, very random. It's just the way Jinder Mahal, Veer, and Shanky were formed, very random. Again, we can get better than that. Let's pay some more attention to the tag teams. Let's do something better than what we're doing right now with the division. And again, we're seeing a commercial for the revamped NXT. And if you haven't seen it already, you must go to Google. You must Google NXT's 2.0 logo because it's a new logo. I know you've seen the revamped NXT logo already, but they have just released the NXT 2.0 logo, which I feel looks a bit neater, a bit more clean than the already existing NXT logo. And again, the fact that they're calling it NXT 2.0 shows that WWE wants you to know, wants everybody to know, the hardcore fans, the casual fans. They want everyone to know that, hey, this is not the same old NXT. This is a new NXT. This is a new beginning. This is NXT 2.0. So I see it as a revamp. I don't know how big of a revamp it'll be, if they'll actually deliver in terms of the product. But I see it as a big of a revamp after this whole 2.0 thing. I see it as big of a revamp as we saw from Redemption to NXT. I mean, that was a big jump. And I feel like NXT to NXT 2.0, because 2.0 really adds a lot. It really delivers a statement. It really shows that, hey, WWE wants to make a change. I feel like this could be big. This could be big. And I'm just saying that because of the added 2.0. Because this is not just NXT. This is NXT 2.0, and you have to deliver when you're making a change to the name. And we're going to have an 8-man tag team match in action very soon. We see Charlotte Flair walking backstage. Little impromptu interview for Charlotte. She's not interested. Especially not because she sees a doll gifted by Alexa to herself, of herself. Wow. So Charlotte Flair just threw her doll Charlie in the dumpster. I don't know if that's a good idea, but let's see what happens. Alright, so we're seeing Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, Mansoor, and Mustafa Ali in the ring. They're dancing to New Day's music. Nice. Nice. Yeah. I thought Mustafa Ali was supposed to be a heel, but here he is dancing to the New Day's music. I guess I'll take that. I'll take that. Stuff like this, random stuff like this, really reminds me of a statement from Vince McMahon. And I think this was 2 years ago when I read a report that said that Vince McMahon said in an official meeting that fans have a low memory, have a poor memory. They forget things often. They move on. And whenever I see stuff like this, Mustafa Ali just going from retribution to dancing here in the middle of the ring with the New Day, it makes me think that yes, Vince McMahon really wants fans to have a poor memory to be able to pull off stuff like this. Because no way else would he be able to do it. Now we're having Mace and T Bar come to the ring. I feel bad for these guys because T Bar is great. T Bar is great, and so is Mace. I mean, both of them have the looks. Both of them have the perfect moveset to be successful in the company, and yet they are being made to wear those face paints, those hideous outfits, and they are being made to carry the name Mace and T Bar. If you were able to take the leader of Retribution out of that group, put him in another group with Mansoor, why couldn't you just take Mace and T Bar, repackage them, and do something better with them? I mean, Retribution is no more. Retribution's leader can't be bothered about it. Why are Mace and T Bar still Mace and T Bar? Could have done something better with them. Could have made them something else. But here we are still stuck with Mace and T Bar. I don't know what to say. But here we are with Omos and AJ Styles now making their entrance, and all I want to say about this is that the only star power in this whole team, the team of Mace, T-Bar, AJ, and Omos, is AJ. So AJ is pretty much, I feel like, gonna carry this match from their side. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, guys. Omos is big. He's great. He looks dominating. We don't have the Big Show anymore. We don't have Braun Strowman. So I guess Omos does the job. Obviously he's probably not even getting as paid nearly as much as Big Show and Braun Strowman were. So definitely gets the job done on the business side as well. But if I look at Omos, I can't get behind him just yet, just because of his physical appearance. And that is because we had a lot of bodyguards in the past. And this Omos really reminds me of a guy named Ezekiel Jackson, who also, I believe, used to serve as a bodyguard at some time. I believe Brian Kendrick's bodyguard back in ECW, if I remember correctly, or SmackDown. But could not pull it off himself. Did get a solo run, was released, not a memorable run at all. And I feel Omos, when I see him, it reminds me of Ezekiel Jackson a lot. It looks impressive, but poor booking, poor way of introducing him, poor outfit. Right now, he's a little more athletic. Yes, if you look at his moveset, if you look the way he moves in the ring and whatnot, yes, he is better than the great Khali. But if you look at his character, it is probably worse than Khali himself. Khali at least had some character. He was the Punjabi playboy. Before that, he was a monstrous heel. What is Omos right now? Would you call him a monstrous heel? I would not. Would you call him a playboy? Definitely not. So Omos, gotta package him properly. Gotta introduce him properly. Got to promote him properly, because right now he's just AJ Styles' bodyguard. A lot of people don't even know the name Omos. They just know AJ Styles' bodyguard. So there is work to be done for sure. A lot of work to be done for sure. Alright, so the babyface doing the heel work right now, tagging each other consecutively and going after AJ Styles with the kicks. Constant kicks. Mustafa Ali tries to do something different, wow, bad choice. AJ Styles was able to counter, and he's gonna tag. Alright. Mace is so athletically gifted. He is great in the ring. T-Bar and Mace, both of them are great in the ring. They deserve better. They deserve to be repackaged in a better way. First things first, get rid of the face paint, get rid of the outfit, get rid of the names. Really repackage it in a good way because these talent, they're good. They're good. And if they go to AEW, let's say if they go to AEW, they will shine because they are so good. They're strong, they're muscular, they have the right look, the kind of look that Vince McMahon really can get behind. They have everything going except for the way they have been booked, the way they have been packaged. Let's do something better with them. So in this team of AJ, Omos, Mace, and T-Bar, AJ is actually the shortest, but the one with the most star power. Interesting. T-Bar is dominating as expected. He is. No surprises there. We just got a close-up shot of Mansoor, which reminds me that WWE is actually going back to Saudi Arabia. Now, of course, whenever WWE goes back to that country, we get a lot of mixed reaction from the people. Some are happy, some are not. Mostly the people who are happy because they're not in America and they're living in, let's say, in Europe or they're living in Asia, and they love, the time when the pay-per-view goes live because it's not too late for them and they can actually stay up for the pay-per-view. Unlike is usually the case when the pay-per-view airs from America. So that's why they're happy. But when they're not happy is when the talks about the blood money and whatnot comes in when you talk about Saudi Arabia. Uh, I feel like it's such a very crucial topic of Saudi Arabia and WWE, and it's so easy to hate, you know, something or somebody or some country. It's so easy to hate and comment, you know, hateful stuff on social media. But one thing that we should all be very mindful of is the fact that wrestling fans are wrestling fans, I mean, it doesn't matter where they're from. They all love wrestling, and all of us share this very common passion and love for wrestling. So when you're being disrespectful to, let's say, something, some identity or some country or anything, a political belief, it's your thing. But just remember that you're also hurting the feeling of a wrestling fan who's residing in a particular nation, in a particular country, and you wouldn't want to do that. You wouldn't want to draw wrestling fans away from wrestling because of your hateful comments. So this is something that I really keep in mind when I'm talking to people, especially in the comments. You have to be respectful to all the wrestling fans because you and them, you have a lot in common, and the biggest thing you have in common is the passion that you share for wrestling. So you gotta respect that. And we're still getting commercial breaks, lots of commercial breaks tonight. I can't wait for this 8-man tag team match to get over as well because I really want to get to the end, to the main event of the show, and really find out if the whole hype was worth it. If Big E is actually cashing in, or if it's going to be a failed attempt. As I said earlier, I don't see him cashing in, but we have yet to see what happens. We have yet to see. No matter how many times I've watched this Extreme Rules commercial, I'm not gonna be impressed. Not gonna be impressed. Oh, we're back from the commercial break and the match is still going on. Wouldn't have been too mad if the match actually went off and would have ended during the commercial break. Just want to hurry up to the main event, honestly. But it's still going on. Mansoor is in there with Mace, trying to get the tag, kick to the face of Mace, desperately trying to tag his friends in. AJ Styles comes in, grabs the grabs Mansoor by his foot. Alright, tried to kick AJ's face but failed. Alright, now Mansoor kicks AJ to the face, desperately trying to tag somebody in. It's getting close. And he tags Xavier Woods in. Xavier versus AJ right now. Both of them good friends. We've seen them both in Up Up Down Down. Both tremendous great gamers as well. Kofi Kingston in now, trying to pin AJ. AJ kicks out. Alright, so off the top turnbuckle, lands on AJ's back. Mace comes in, gets a kick by Xavier. A DDT. Alright, teammate out. T-bar crashes to the outside thanks to Kofi Kingston's athleticism. And AJ is there in the ring all by himself, surrounded by all these athletic people. And Omos is there ringside on the apron. Alright. AJ counters. Wow. AJ almost had to fall there, but Mustafa Ali with the save. Alright, Mansoor takes out T-Bar. Tries to take out Mace, but does not work. Gets kicked out by... Alright, so Mace gets kicked out by Xavier Woods. Xavier... Alright, AJ with the upper hand once again. Xavier kicked out of the ring. Kofi tried to... Alright, Kofi with the roll-up pin. 1, 2... Alright, Mustafa Ali tagged himself in. Flying DDT to AJ Styles. Alright, so Omos has now tagged himself in. Mustafa Ali is definitely in for some trouble now. He probably regrets tagging himself in at the first place. Omos does not look happy. And so does Mustafa Ali. He looks really... Alright, so Omos has been booked as a total monster. That's for sure. A monster with a lack of character and a lack of introduction, a proper introduction. We were never introduced to him properly. And I feel like if you look at Braun Strowman, if you want to compare Braun Strowman, who was also booked as a monster at first, a monster among men till the very end, actually. Braun Strowman, when he made his debut, there were a lot of questions that who is Braun Strowman? You know, why is he here? Why has he joined the Wyatt family? Why is he wearing that sheep mask? There were so many questions, and those questions were answered. But if you look at Omos, yes, he performed in Raw Underground, which is a thing of a past now, first of all. But all we know about him is he came in as AJ Styles' bodyguard. What else do we know about Omos? What else has he done? Where does he come from? Why is he with AJ? What does he want? Why is he the monster he is just because of his height? We know nothing about Omos, and I would love for WWE to really give us an insight to the person they want us to get behind. I would love to get behind Omos. He's a monster. He looks like one. He looks like a very likable person. Just his face, it looks like he loves what he does. But yeah, a proper introduction is needed. Still, there is time. They can still introduce us to Omos in a better fashion. Wow. Alright, so now we are having a Pizza Hut commercial. Correct. A Pizza Hut commercial is still better than a KFC commercial, which has The Miz dressed as a chicken and Dolph Ziggler as the Colonel KFC. Still better than that. So I'll take a Pizza Hut commercial over a very disgraceful KFC commercial any day of the week, really. Also, Pizza Hut is better than KFC. Let's face that. Let's face that right now. Yeah. So, since we're seeing Bobby Lashley right now, reminds me of something. I did an interview with Edge some time ago, actually, 2 days before his match at WrestleMania 37. And, obviously at that time, people speculated that the reason why Daniel Bryan was added to the match between Edge and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania was because Edge looks old and Edge does not have that look that Vince McMahon wants. That's why Daniel Bryan has been added to the match. So I actually asked Edge about it, about what he thinks. So Edge had only one thing to say about it. The looks. He said that Bobby Lashley is just about as old as Edge himself is, but he really envies Lashley because of how young he looks. Bobby Lashley does not age. I mean, if you look at him right now, if you compare him and Bobby Lashley to Omos, you'd probably say that Bobby Lashley is younger than Omos. He just looks fine. He ages like fine wine, and just had to put it out there because it's true. All right, so we have a backstage interview here once again. MVP selling the match, selling Bobby Lashley as a champion. He is. He looks great as a champion. Or Big E is there again, once again, as I said countless times throughout this show. The fact that Big E has been pushing this whole championship briefcase cash in tonight makes me feel like it's not happening. Makes me feel like we're not getting a new champion. I don't have a reason to believe that Bobby Lashley, after defeating all those legends that he has. I mean, let's talk about Goldberg, all right? Goldberg is a guy who, oh wow, we have a Doudrop match. By the way, congratulations to Doudrop, who recently got married to her fiance of 2 years. Congratulations to Doudrop. But again, let's go back to the topic of Bobby Lashley. I mean, Bobby Lashley this year has defeated so many top-notch talent. He's defeated Drew McIntyre. He recently defeated Goldberg, and Goldberg is a legend that WWE loves to push a lot, more than fans would like. Goldberg is the guy who actually defeated the Fiend when the Fiend was red hot. He is Goldberg. That is Goldberg for you. Bobby Lashley defeated Goldberg, and in an embarrassing fashion, he destroyed Goldberg. He destroyed Goldberg's son. So what makes anybody think that Bobby Lashley would actually drop the title to Randy Orton on a random Raw? Do you really feel like AEW's Dynamite's rating would want WWE to make such a drastic change to their creative booking of Bobby Lashley and have him drop the title to Randy Orton on a random Raw just before a pay-per-view of Extreme Rules? Do you really think so? Do you? Really? How long have you been watching wrestling? How long have you been watching the product of WWE? How long have you been consuming it? Because I've been consuming it for a while, and from what I can think, that it would be stupid, to say the least, to have Bobby Lashley drop the title so randomly on a random Raw to Randy Orton. It would make no sense. Might make sense if Big E actually, interferes during the match, turns it into a triple threat, pins Randy Orton, gets away with the title. That might make sense. That might be something that I might be able to accept. But Bobby Lashley dropping the title to Randy Orton randomly makes no sense. No sense. Not at all. Not any day of the week. Just no. No. Another commercial break. Perfect. Wow, what a show it's been, though. I mean, time really flies when you're having a good time. I'm looking at the timer right now. We've been doing this live stream for about 2 hours and 20 minutes. We're just 40 minutes away from the end of the show, and it's been great. It's been incredible, to say the least. I mean, we've had fun. We've had fun together. Time really just flew by, and I can't wait until tomorrow when we come back here live and do another live stream for the revamped NXT 2.0. That will be pretty interesting, wouldn't it? Looking forward to it eagerly, actually. Very, very. Gosh. Time really flies. Indeed, it does. So do you think that Big E will walk away with the WWE Championship tonight? Let us know your thoughts. I would love to hear from you. I would love to know what you think about this whole thing with his Money in the Bank briefcase. Speaking of Money in the Bank, Otis actually won the Money in the Bank briefcase last year. It went on to Miz, and it was just a missed opportunity. I felt like I was happy when Miz actually cashed in and he became champion. I was happy. I wanted Miz to go on to WrestleMania as champion, but it did not happen. I don't know why. I'm not sure why, actually, because Miz as champion is great. It's money. I love Miz as champion, and if you had Bad Bunny involved with the title, it would have elevated it even more. Not sure why it did not happen, but I feel Miz is great as champion. Definitely is. And we're seeing the Extreme Rules commercial once again, and I'm gonna say it for the 100th time this night. Hate this commercial. Can't wait for this pay-per-view to get over so we don't have to watch this commercial anymore. Terrible, terrible job, WWE. Terrible. So for those of you who are watching this right now, I am Wrassingh, the founder of Wrasslinews, Instagram's #1 wrestling news source, and today is our first ever live stream of a WWE watch along. And we're so glad that you could join us tonight. We're having a lot of fun, and we plan on doing this for every single wrestling show of the year, every single week, every single day. And who do we have here? CFG Streams. How are you doing, Gabe? So good to see you. I'm glad that you could join in. I hope that you're enjoying Raw tonight. I mean, it's been a good show so far. Do I see Big E cashing in? No, I do not. Do you see Big E cashing in tonight? Do you see him winning the championship and walking out with the title tonight? Let me know what you think. But it's good to see you, Gabe. I hope you're doing well. And Eva Marie comes out. Eva Marie, interesting. So I just had the pleasure of interviewing 90 Day Fiancé star Paula Mayfield, who now goes by the name of Paula Blaze in wrestling. And she recently made her appearance for NWA Empower pay-per-view. A lot of people are comparing Paula to Eva Marie, and they feel like Paula could be the next Eva Marie of wrestling. Which I really disagree with. I feel like Paula is great. She feels very determined. She feels, the fact about Paula is she's an immigrant. She immigrated to the USA, of course, through the 90 Day Fiancé show, and she has fought tooth and nail to get to the point where she is right now. I mean, she's a celebrity. She's a self-made celebrity, and she's a self-made wrestler. Nobody is forcing her to get into the industry. Nobody is giving her the push. Nobody is giving her the opportunity to headline WrestleMania or headline, let's say, Extreme Rules. She's starting from the ground bottom. She's starting from the indies. She made her way up to the NWA promotion, and now she's working hard in the indies and NWA to make it to the WWE or AEW. So one person you should definitely check out is Paula Mayfield. Had the pleasure of interviewing her. You can still watch the interview on our Instagram, that is of Wrestling News. You should watch the interview of ours with Paula Mayfield. So we do these interviews every single Saturday live on Instagram and on Wrestling Show. We have a podcast known as the Wrestling Show where we interview wrestling celebrities every single week. Some of our previous guests include WWE superstars Edge, Maria Kanellis, Drew McIntyre, Rhea Ripley, Bobby Lashley. I can go on and on. So you should definitely check out The Wrassing Show, streaming on every single major streaming service out there. On YouTube itself. I mean, you're on YouTube right now, you're watching this very stream. Why not check out our YouTube page and check out the incredible interviews we've done on here? So definitely check out our YouTube, go to our Instagram, because we've got a lot of content on there. Wrestling News is the number one wrestling news source on Instagram. You do not want to miss that. And soon to be the number one, or one of the very best on YouTube. And we're just getting started. Getting started also is Duo Drop, who has Eva Marie down to her feet right now. Eva Marie begging for it to be over. She can't take it anymore. I don't know if this is a bathroom break or what, but I cannot wait for the main event of Bobby Lashley versus Randy Orton. I cannot wait. Not sure why they had to put this match in the middle. Not sure how many people are enjoying this match, but this is what we have, and this is what we're watching, and not going to complain. I feel like it's going to be a short match. That is why I'm not going to complain. Do drop it 1, 2, and 3. Wow, gosh. Glad it's over. Glad it's over. What I'm not too glad about, though, is the fact that we're going to get another commercial break before we get to the main event. But it is what it is. It is what it is, right? We gotta go through the commercial break to get to it. I mean, patience bears sweet fruits, so we just gotta live by the hope and wait for the main event to come up. And we can see a lot of masks in the audience today. Lots of people are actually wearing masks, and that is a good sign. You know, the COVID-19 pandemic is far from over. We're still going through it, so it wouldn't be too bad if we still keep our masks on, as much as we can or whenever we can, and protect ourselves and the others. Oh, Karrion Kross is here. We know your name, Karrion, and you look much better in that suit than you look in your ring gear, by the way. You look much better. He says that deep down we don't really know who they are. It's true, because WWE did not really bother to introduce us to Karrion Kross when he made his debut on the main roster. Yes, NXT viewers do know Karrion Kross and what he's capable of, but what about the casual fans? Has Karrion Kross really been introduced well to them? Not really. Not really. Maybe it's a work in progress. Maybe it's something that they're still working on, but so far, not really. Gosh. So, Karrion Kross lost his debut match to Jeff Hardy, the same guy who is going after the 24/7 championship right now. Karrion Kross lost his debut match to Jeff Hardy. It was said that he did because he's going to be losing a row of matches until Scarlett Bordeaux comes in and she actually, guides him to the right path and really helps him win the matches. It's weird because Karrion stopped losing after that, and he started winning, and he lost, and he won, and he lost, and he won. It's weird. I mean, it would have been more interesting if it was just losing and Scarlett came in and, got him in the right direction, really showed what Scarlett is capable of and what this connection of Karrion and Scarlett brings to the table. But no, Scarlett did not show up, hasn't showed up yet. She is still in the hiding, still, tweeting, not really showing up yet. And Karrion is still doing his stuff, winning, losing. Kind of a momentum loss there. I feel like even at this point, since they had him lose his debut match, rather should have had him lose all his matches until Scarlett would have shown up. But so Randy Orton and Matt Riddle are out for the main event. Matt Riddle on his scooty, Randy Orton looking as determined as ever. Interesting. So this is the WWE title match between Randy Orton and the champion Bobby Lashley. Could turn into a triple threat if and only if Big E decides to cash in his briefcase while this match is going on, before this match gets over. Then, in that situation, the match will turn into a triple threat, but that has yet to be seen. Another commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. So, hopefully, this will be the last one, but it is what it is. Uh, Next, we're gonna see the WWE title match between Bobby Lashley and Randy Orton. I feel also a little bummed out. One of the reasons, again, I feel like Big E is not cashing in tonight is because he had been teasing this whole thing with Paul Heyman, doing these comical skits with him every once in a while, showing off his briefcase, intimidating him, signaling to something that was yet to come. And all of a sudden, he jumps ship from SmackDown, gets on Raw, gets on Twitter actually, announces that he's cashing in, then gets on Raw, announces he's cashing in, again and again, again and again throughout the night. It's been done so much, it's been done so suddenly that I really feel that Big E is not cashing in, or if he cashes in, it's going to be a failed attempt, and Big E will not walk out as champion, and he will not be utilizing his briefcase tonight. Is my early prediction for the match, for what's going to go down. Again, as I said earlier, I do not see Bobby Lashley even losing the match right tonight, even losing to Randy Orton, because if you look at Bobby Lashley's past, Bobby Lashley has defeated countless top-notch superstars and legends, including Drew McIntyre, including the legendary Goldberg very recently at SummerSlam. Goldberg is a guy who has defeated, a lot of people. He's defeated Brock Lesnar in a few seconds. He's defeated The Fiend when he was red hot. Goldberg cannot be stopped. Bobby Lashley stopped him. And if anybody expects Bobby Lashley to drop the title on a random edition of Raw just because AEW beat Raw in terms of the key dynamics, key demographics, I feel like we can have a conversation right after this, because I don't understand why would WWE in the right mind lose all the momentum that Bobby Lashley has gained this past year by defeating all these legends and these top-notch athletes and dropping the title to Randy Orton on a random Raw. I don't get it. I don't get the logic behind it. I don't, and I would love to be proven wrong. I would love for it to happen. I would love for something different to happen, but right now I don't get it. I don't see it happening. I just don't. I don't. Let's see what happens, though. Let's see what happens. So for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, who are actually coming across Wrestling News for the first time, we are Instagram's number one wrestling news source, Wrestling News, and we conduct weekly interviews on our Instagram page. So make sure to follow us on Instagram and get connected with us, because every Saturday we conduct a new interview with a wrestling superstar. Some of our previous guests include stars from NXT, from WWE, from Impact Wrestling, from ROH, stars from independent circuit. We do not discriminate. We love hearing their stories, and we love sharing their incredible stories with the fans. So make sure to follow us on Instagram and subscribe to us on YouTube, because we have a lot of exciting content planned for you. And KJ White, who is here with us watching this right now, has a lot of exciting stuff prepared for you starting this Saturday. And it's going to be a little surprise. And I can't wait for KJ to unveil it for all of you. It's going to be a new starting of a new series this Saturday. And again, we're getting a promo for the revamped NXT 2.0, which we're going to see from tomorrow. Very excited for it. A lot of people are quick to judge. People are quick to say that, hey, NXT 2.0 is not for me. It's not my cup of tea. AEW is better. They really, did NXT dirty. RIP NXT. NXT's gone. The good old days of NXT is gone. We're going to miss NXT. I feel like give NXT 2.0 a chance. I mean, NXT Redemption, you guys felt was terrible, and NXT was amazing, right? So maybe NXT 2.0 might be an upgrade. You never know. Let's give NXT 2.0 a chance, and let's tune in tomorrow. Let's see what the hype is all about. And we're back from the commercial break. Randy Orton's music is still playing. I wouldn't mind Randy Orton's music playing all day. I mean, I could jam to it all day. It's such great entrance music, by the way. But it's playing a little too long. Let's see what's taking Bobby Lashley so long to come in. Come on, Bobby. Come on out. We've been waiting way too long for this match. Come out, Bobby. Come out. And there is the Almighty. There is Bobby Lashley. What an entrance. What an entrance. He looks good. He just looks great as champion. I would say, at the start of the show, I said he looks just as good as Jinder Mahal as champion. I'd say he looks better than Jinder Mahal looked as champion. Bobby Lashley really looks like $1 million when he's having that WWE Championship around his waist. And you know what? I'm glad that he got rid of Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander, because it really showed Bobby Lashley as a superstar he is, really showed what he can do solo, just with MVP. And I'll tell you something about MVP again. As I said, I interviewed Bobby Lashley for SummerSlam before his match against Goldberg. And during the press conference, Bobby Lashley was actually asked if he would like to team up with Paul Heyman, to which Bobby Lashley was very defensive of MVP. And he actually took the time to say that MVP has done such a great job. He's such a good manager. They have such a good chemistry. With all due respect to Paul Heyman, he loves being with MVP, and he can't see getting rid of MVP anytime soon. He loves being with him. And that shows the pure chemistry and the love and the respect that these two people share for each other. MVP has definitely done wonders for Bobby Lashley. And, before MVP, we saw Bobby Lashley somewhere with Lana, CJ Perry, and it was a mess. But ever since MVP has gotten here, and he's got Bobby on track, Bobby's career has changed for good, and it's so good to see him as champion. But is he going to be champion for too long? Is Bobby Lashley going to be able to hold on to the gold? We'll find out very shortly, as we're seeing Bobby Lashley versus Randy Orton starts in just a few minutes. And Big E definitely has his eyes glued to the screen right now. He has closed eyes. He's watching this match very closely, wanting to know who's going to be champion, if he's going to cash in. The fact that he's hyped it so much, he's definitely going to attempt to cash in. He will come out with his briefcase. That will happen. But I feel like it will be a failed attempt. I feel like he will not be able to cash in. Just my prediction. Again, would love to be proven wrong, but just my prediction. Big E will fail to cash in. Bobby Lashley looks very angry. He looks determined. He looks ready to go. He looks ready to destroy Randy Orton. So, my prediction here is either Big E waits until the very end of the match and fails to cash in the briefcase. Something happens, somebody interferes, he fails. Or he, gets into the match while the match is still going on, cashes in, turns it into a triple threat, and Bobby Lashley retains. I feel no matter what, I feel like Bobby Lashley is retaining the championship. He is walking out of the building with the title, and I feel like the first option that I mentioned is more likely. I feel like but Big E is gonna fail to cash in, and he's not gonna lose his briefcase tonight because a lot of people want Big E to be champion, and I feel like he was given the briefcase for a reason, and that reason was to be champion. So I do expect Big E to be champion tonight, and no, I'm sorry, to go back home with the briefcase, but not to be champion tonight. Not tonight. Tonight, I feel it's not the night for Big E to be champion. Randy Orton is dominating the early part of this match. Surprisingly, something I did not see coming. Matt Riddle looks very, very proud of his partner. All right, Bobby Lashley back in control, pushes Orton to the side. Yeah, he's back in control. Lashley with the solid punches. Yeah, Lashley is back, dominating the match. If I look at Matt Riddle, I feel like he's so annoying, but he couldn't have had a better tag team partner than Randy Orton because Randy Orton's personality, even though he's the apex predator, he is the viper, he is dangerous and is anything. But people know Randy Orton has a sense of humor, and people know that Randy Orton has a very chilled out, a very laid back personality himself. So this duo of Orton and Matt Riddle is so good. It doesn't look too cheesy because let's imagine somebody like Matt Riddle and let's say No Way Jose, yeah, that would have been a terrible duo because both of those superstars are over the top with their characters. Both of them are super laid back, super cool, super chilled out. It would have been another very generic tag team, but with Randy Orton and Matt Riddle, it just adds more spice, more variety, and that's what I've been telling throughout the show is that what we need is diversity, what we need is variety. So I hope to see more tag teams like just like we're seeing Matt Riddle and Randy Orton, polar opposites, get together. I would like to see polar opposites in tag teams and not just stereotypical tag teams. Do not make tag teams based on nationalities, but make tag teams based on diversity, based on variety. Make tag teams that are new, something that brings something new, some spices to the table. Let's do that. And I hope to see that in the very near future from WWE. Wow, it's been a solid show so far. I mean, how long have we been air for? We've been on air for 2 hours, 42 minutes, 46 seconds as of now. And what a night. What a night. It's been great talking to you all, commenting throughout this match, throughout the show, running through the show with you all, discussing it with you guys. It's been a pleasure. And we can't wait to do it again every single week, every single day of the week for every single show. And we'll be back tomorrow for the revamped NXT 2.0. Very, very excited about it. So what do you guys think personally? Do you think that NXT 2.0 is going to deliver, or is it going to be a big, huge disappointment? Let us know in the comments. And while we're at it, let us know if you feel like Big E will walk away with the WWE title tonight, because I would love to see that. And what we have a comment here from the certified hustler. Swerve Big is about the cash in the suitcase. I know, I definitely agree with you. I've been saying this from the very beginning. You know what I say to the people who are actually tuning in tonight? I say that you are the guys who always criticize WWE for not keeping surprises, for spoiling appearances, for spoiling the returns. But you guys are happy about Big E announcing his cash in on Twitter. I don't feel that WWE is so stupid to announce such a surprise, thing. I mean, Money in the Bank cash-ins have a surprise element to them. And Big E announcing it on Twitter takes away the surprise element. So I feel like this is nothing but a swerve, nothing but a strategy to bring up the viewership, nothing but a strategy to bring more eyes to the product. Because you know what I feel? I feel like USA Network, they watched the SmackDown Super SmackDown at MSG. They watched MSG. They watched Brock Lesnar. They saw Becky Lynch. They saw John Cena. They saw all these people and they looked at WWE, and USA told WWE that USA asked WWE that, hey, what are you doing for us? You know, you did Super SmackDown. It was great for Fox. What are you doing for us? And what does WWE do for USA? They put up a Raw Women's Championship match. They put up a WWE Championship match. Even more, they put up a Money in the Bank briefcase announcement. It feels like a strategy to bring up viewership and nothing else at this point. Do I see Big E walking away with the WWE title tonight? I do not. Do I see Randy Orton losing the title tonight? I do not. It's not happening. Not tonight. Not on a random episode of Monday Night Raw. Not happening. After all that Bobby Lashley has done this past year, definitely not happening. Stephen Griffiths, hello Stephen. He says Orton will win by the RKO and Big E will cash in and win the title. Look, Stephen, I mean, you know what? I respect your opinion there. It could happen. I mean, Orton started the whole show, whole Monday Night Raw tonight, with the RKO to Bobby Lashley, so I could definitely see it happening. And as I'm seeing the match right now, Orton is dominating the match. But if you think about what Bobby Lashley has done this past year, he's defeated legends, he's defeated Drew McIntyre, he's defeated Goldberg. So do you really expect Bobby Lashley to drop the championship on a random episode of Raw? After all the momentum he's gained by defeating all these big names this past year? I do not. I would have a hard time digesting Randy Orton defeating Bobby Lashley on a random episode of Raw. I would really be surprised. So, even though Randy Orton is dominating the match right now, I do not see him walking away with the title. And I do not see Big E cashing in either. It's interesting. It's interesting. Let's see what happens, though. Let's see what happens. Yeah, Bobby Lashley is leading now. He is dominating the match once again. The tables have turned. Matt Riddle looks concerned as he checks on Orton. Bobby Lashley looks monstrous as ever. Yeah, I feel like there is no way Big E's cashing in. I mean, he will cash in for sure, but he's gonna fail to do it. He's going to fail to cash in. That's what I feel. Yeah, Bobby Lashley is destroying Randy right now. What I could also see happening, I mean, let me know what you guys think, but I could see happening Big E interfering in this match, cashing in the middle of this match, turning it into a triple threat. Could happen. And that could likely lead to a change in hands of the title. What do you think? Do you feel like this could change into a triple threat due to a cash-in? Let me know what you think. I would love to hear from you guys. Randy Orton can barely stand right now. Bobby going for the spear. Ah, gosh. Wow. Really right to the guts of Orton at full speed. Wow. If I was Big E, I would not want to cash in on Bobby Lashley right now. He looks ready to go. He can take on, let's say, 2, 4, 5 more people after this match. He looks so strong, so determined, just so ready. I don't know if it will be the right time for Big E to cash in. If he's able to keep up this momentum, Lashley, that is. Crowd is cheering for Randy. Matt Riddle getting the crowd pumped up. And Randy Orton definitely feeding off the energy of the crowd. He's getting up to his feet. Alright, getting some momentum thanks to the crowd. Let's see what happens. And Bobby Lashley countered. No, Randy Orton countered that. Alright, oh wow, okay. Back and forth there. Alright, Randy Orton's gaining momentum. Hard hitting Lashley. I knew this was gonna happen. No, Lashley is. Wow, okay, alright, I've been proven wrong here. Randy Orton with the counter. He's dominating the match still. Lashley looks in a bit of a concerning position. MVP, the look on his face is concerned. I don't know, guys. I don't know. But this show so far has been quite predictable. It's been quite predictable, so I don't know, hard to say. I would also like to point to the fact that we saw a match between Jeff Hardy and we saw a Jeff Hardy match tonight, and between Damian Priest and Jeff Hardy for the United States Championship. And right before the match, we saw a little bit of a segment with the 24/7 title, and that segment led to nothing. It led to nothing. We saw nothing out of that segment. So just want to point to the fact that it was pretty vague. A vague segment that led to absolutely nothing. Randy Orton getting ready for the RKO, and Stephen saying that it would be a great idea to do a triple threat Extreme Rules. I agree, Stephen. That would be great, actually, because the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, I feel like it lacks something right now, and a triple threat would definitely add something very valuable to the show. Would be a welcomed match, a welcome change to the match at Extreme Rules, definitely. So Bobby Lashley did hit Randy Orton with a spear, with a very hard-hitting spear. Randy Orton kicked out. If Randy Orton can hit Bobby Lashley with the RKO, sweat him out a little, get him a little tired, then Big E, it will be right for him to cash in. But still, I'm going to stick to my word, stick to my opinion, which I've developed even before the show started. I'm going to stick to it. I don't think that Big E is winning the championship tonight. I don't think that Big E is cashing in tonight. He will definitely attempt to do it, from what I feel, but he will fail at it. And Randy Orton hits Bobby Lashley with the RKO. I think I saw this one coming. It was meant to happen. I mean, if Big E cashes in, both of the opponents have to be drawn out. Both of them have to be tired. It really has to happen. MVP tried to pull Lashley to the side, but the referee, very quick instinct right there. Okay, so things are getting ugly ringside between Matt Riddle and MVP. Randy Orton takes the... Oh my god! Randy Orton with the RKO to MVP. This is going to make Bobby Lashley very, very unhappy. Very unhappy. I don't know if this was a smart move by Randy, because Bobby Lashley, he loves MVP. And I feel like this is trouble for Randy. This means trouble for Randy. Let's see what happens. Oh, I told you this means trouble for Randy. A spear to Randy right after that. I told you guys, Bobby Lashley has retained the championship. Stephen, you're right. Lashley with the spear. He won the match. Big E is not cashing in. He cannot cash in. There is no chance in hell that Big E is cashing in tonight. Let's see what happens. But I feel like Lashley is not dropping. After all that he's done this past year, it would make 0 sense for Lashley to lose clean to Orton. It would have made 0 sense to drop the title to Orton on a random edition of Raw, and that's exactly what happened. So, yeah. Good. I think Lashley is wasting a little time right now with Matt Riddle. He should either get out of the ring right now, or he should stay in the ring and keep his eyes open for Big E, because he can strike from anywhere and everywhere right now. So Lashley better not waste time on Orton right now. Okay. So pure strength from Bobby Lashley, putting Orton to the table. Gosh, he's limping. This is not a good sign. And to show your weakness right before the Money in the Bank, cash in is not a good sign at all, because Big E will obviously, target that bad leg, the bad knee. So Big E's here. He's here with the briefcase. He's ready. He's here with the referee and the briefcase. I still stick by my words. I still feel like the title will not change hands. I'm going to stick by my word. It's not. It cannot change hands tonight. Not tonight. I don't know. I don't know. I wanted to stick by my words, but oh my god, Did we really get a commercial break before the cash in? I mean, which Money in the Bank holder would want to give their opponent time to recover thanks to a commercial break? Which Money in the Bank holder would like to do that? I don't think that's a very good idea. I don't think I get it from the business perspective that this is a great timing to put your advertisements out there, to put the commercials out there, to really put your sponsors' messages out there because it's going to bring in money. Nobody's going to change channels. But which Money in the Bank briefcase holder would like to give their opponent time to recover while the commercials roll on? If I was the Money in the Bank holder, I would say, heck with the commercials. I want to cash in. I want to get the match started while the commercials are going on. I don't care. But putting in commercials right before the cash in really is a bad sign, because for the hardcore fans, especially for the fans who understand the business, who understands the rules, that wow, bad timing for real. You do not put a commercial before a briefcase cash in. Definitely not. Why would you like to give your opponent time to recover? Shocking. Shocking to say the least. Wow. And for those of you who are joining us right now, we are Wrestling News. We are Instagram's number one wrestling news source. If you haven't checked us already, go to Instagram and search Wrestling News. That's WRASSLINEWS. We also do exclusive interviews with wrestling celebrities every single week live on Instagram, and we also post the interviews on our podcast, The Wrassingh Show, which is streaming everywhere. Some of our guests on the podcast include former WWE Champion Maria Kanellis, JTG, Shad Gaspard, late great, RIP, include WWE superstars Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, Edge. I can go on and on. So, you get the point. Check out the Wrassing Show, streaming everywhere, right here on this YouTube channel as well. And check us out on YouTube, on Instagram, instagram.com/wrestlingnews. And by the way, today is our first ever watch along, and we will be back tomorrow for NXT. Guess what? We will be back on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. You get the picture. We will be back every single day for every single wrestling show out there, and we will be doing these watch-alongs with you every single day for all the shows right here on Wrestling News YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed already, hit the subscribe button, and we would love for us to be connected and start this new relationship right here on YouTube. Stephen here says that he really hopes Lashley keeps the title. Stephen, you know what? Great wrestling minds, they do think alike. I agree with you. I hope that Lashley keeps the title too, not just because he has done such an incredible job as champion all these months. I mean, he's carried the Raw brand on his back. Sure, Roman Reigns has been carrying the SmackDown brand as well. I mean, he's the head of the table. But SmackDown has some really good talent, and they have some really good creative going on. For Raw, I feel like Raw has not been as good as SmackDown, and Bobby Lashley has been the one that I've been tuning in. Okay, I'm not going to talk a lot. We're back on Big E versus Bobby Lashley happening right now. Let's see what happens. My last and final prediction, Bobby Lashley is going to retain, especially after that slap to the face. Bobby Lashley is retaining his championship. Let's see what happens. I think that slap to the face was a big mistake, a huge mistake. I wonder if MVP is still there in his corner. I don't see him. I wonder if he's still there after the RKO. God. Big E's about to hit his finisher, and Bobby Lashley countered. He hit the spear. Big E is down. Can he win Big E? Alright, Big E kicked out. Big E kicked out, and he had to. He had to. But still, Bobby Lashley is very much in control. If the title changes hands tonight, it won't not be clean. It cannot be clean. Let's see. Okay. So Big E with the counter hits the finisher. He will hit the finisher now. He did. He did. Big E hit the finisher. Can he do it? One, two. Wow. Wow. Just like that. Stephen, my man, I was wrong. I'm sorry. Wow. Okay. Did not see that coming, honestly. Big E is the new WWE Champion, and we've got Kofi Kingston, former champion, and Xavier Woods in the ring celebrating the New Day celebration. It's great. KJ White, wow, I know, I know KJ. Big E just won the championship. I have a few things to say about it. I will not. Tonight is just about celebration. Tonight is about Big E. Well deserved. I'm not going to be super critical of it. I would love to, but I will not be. I love it though. I love the celebration that they're having. The pyros just went off. People are happy. They're clapping. It's good. It's good. It's a night of celebration. Congratulations, Big E. Congratulations, A New Day. The unthinkable has happened. Big E is champion, and he has put an end to Lashley's reign as a WWE champion. But Lashley, we've got to give props to Lashley as well for doing an incredible job with the Hurt Business, with MVP, with the WWE Championship. He's done great, and he's respectfully left the ring right now and given the spotlight to the new champion, Big E. That is pure respect. Congratulations, Big E. Wow, what a show. Big E is the new WWE champion. What a show. What a show. Wow. Time really flies. Lashley's run as a champion is over. Big E is now the new WWE champion. What an incredible night, an unpredictable night. I know, KJ, I mean, we were not seeing this coming. I mean, we were super critical of it. I am still a little mad because they did spoil the cash in advance, and I felt like Money in the Bank is something that should be kept as a surprise. But I'm not going to complain too much. Tonight is a night of celebration. Tonight is the night of Big E. So congratulations to Big E. Congratulations to you, and congratulations to all the Big E fans out there. And tonight we had such a great time hosting this watch along, this 3 hour long watch along live with all of you. It's been a pleasure, and we're going to be back tomorrow for NXT 2.0's watch along right here live on Wrestling News, only on YouTube. So we will see you tomorrow for NXT 2.0. And to know that we're going live, make sure to hit the subscribe button and make sure to subscribe to Wrestling News YouTube channel. So when we go live tomorrow, you know you're not going to miss it. Thank you so much, and I hope that you all have a great night. You too, KJ. Have a great night. Bye-bye, and take care.